You are
Everyone,
never. Go ahead.
welcome to the chaos of the behind the
Oh
scenes.
my god.
Uh, so this
Oh
is a
no.
Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition here on Rep RPG, lands of the chaos, goblins and pixies, and DMs and storytellers as well. I'm so glad that apparently a lot of you guys, or not a lot, but there are some that haven't got to watch live before or usually can't this early. So welcome.
Paris, we just started. You're not late. Hi.
Yes, you're not late. I'm not late. You're late. So Pixie, if you could tell us a little bit about Rep RPG or Cody.
So, Rep RPG is Random Encounter Productions. Welcome. We do a bunch of RPG things, including D&D and Vampire the Masquerade. Our main high fantasy campaign is called Disasters in Danger. It is on Monday nights. We also have a D&D PvP League, which Season 2 is going to come to its culmination tomorrow night, Saturday night. We got to look at the standings, and we're going to have some final matches with some prizes for all of our good friends. It's been a wonderful season. New players and old have really just grabbed it by the reins and taken off with it, which is a wonderful time. Throughout the month of December, we're going to be bringing all of our main shows are going on hiatus. We're going to be bringing a bunch of fun one shots and video game nights and party game nights and things like that to all of you. So if you want to follow us, check out the socials and you will learn about all of those things at the same time that we learn about all of those things, probably.
Oftentimes earlier, sometimes the guests suggest things and they just feel it, and then we go, yeah, we're going to do that. You were right. Correct.
There you go.
And so that's Rep RPG, but who helps make this happen, Matthew?
You must mean our fun friends over at the Critical Dice. If you go over to thecriticaldice.com and you use the link that is in the chat, you can get things like these cool dice or these cool pins, or I think we also have some other. I do not want to say this if that is not true. So Pixie, you might have this. You might have this answer more than I do. You can get pins like these, or you can.
And
You're
also,
muted.
not anymore. I'm not.
There you go.
And also, they are going to be hosting a variant design of our chaotic adorable pins, slightly larger, slightly different colors, still cute. I'll hold up the other one for size comparison in their December box, I believe.
Yeah.
So like, this is ours. It's cute. It's small. This is theirs. It's cute. It's big.
Yeah.
And these are limited edition.
Ooh, that's exciting. Speaking of boxes, you might have seen that the link has a it has 20 at the end of it. That's because you can save 20% off of any of your purchases of normal things like this, or like their hats, or their shirts, or any of those things. But Pixie said box earlier, and you might be saying, Matthew, none of those things that were in your hands were boxes. You would be correct, dear listener. But off of their website, you can get their Endless Dice subscription, which is monthly dice sent straight to your door so that you don't even have to worry about the hassle of picking your own dice. They can be picked for you. And you can save 50% off of that if you wanted just dice every month, or you can use their extra large version of their Endless Dice subscription and get things like that special variant chaotic adorable pin that we are having hosted in their December box. So be sure to head on over to thecriticaldice.com, use the code REPRPG, again that's REPRPG, to save you 50% off of your first month's subscription, which could just be the month that gets you a very special limited edition color variant and size variant chaotic adorable pin by yours truly, Pixie. So head on over there, use that code to save yourself a little bit of money and also support the channel and an amazing company while you're at it, because the Critical Dice is just fucking great. So go ahead and do all of that with Rep RPG or use the code.
Buy the dice. Buy
what?
the dice. I'm
exactly.
haunting Paris's mind and getting him back in the habit of buying dice.
Okay, good. Perfect. So yeah, use Rep RPG to save yourself 50% off of your first month subscription, or use the link that was in the chat to be able to save yourself 20% off of any other purchase off of their website.
It's not subliminal. I ain't subtle. Buy the dice, dude. Like, I'm not. I was whispering for sexy vampire purposes, not for subliminal messaging purposes. I am not a subtle human being. Welcome. You must be new.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, so as we dive in tonight, for those of you guys who don't know, this isn't your standard fantasy D&D-esque TTRPG. This does have a mature content if you weren't here for it in the beginning. Our players are monsters. They are vampires. They might show some romantic vampire tendencies, a la the vampire, but it's not. It's not what you usually see in a lot of public media about vampires. These guys are monsters. Thank you for the content warning. Gives me a script because I'm vamping at the moment. This is a mature audience's live show. Possible themes may include, but are not limited to, body horror, murder, gore, extreme emotional situations, and graphic imagery. Please remember, don't hold these against our players, but the characters that they portray. Our players are not monsters. We have had many conversations about consent and went over our own little briefings, and we do okay checks to make sure that everybody's on the same page and emotionally healthy with the show. If for whatever reason you guys need to take a break, feel free to do so. We highly recommend it. We encourage you to take a break, go get you some water, come back. If the episode is too much in general, feel free to skip this one. We always do a slight little recap without all the gruesome bits. And you guys are more than welcome to leave at any time. And we appreciate your patronage while you're here and your viewership. But don't put yourself at risk for any mental distress just to support us. So, with that being said, let's dive into this episode of Blood in the Bayou, Rep RPG's Vampire 5th Edition campaign. Homebrew, because Sway cannot do 30 years of lore. So, last week on the topics of gruesome bits, our kindred and our coterie were ushered away into the clubhouse, the Prince of New Orleans' personal Elysium / haven. So what ended up happening was that they all either were invited to stay or they left to seek shelter and refuge in their own areas. There was a recent bombing earlier that night in the city of New Orleans that ended up taking out one of the establishments of a kindred in the city. It happens to be Sire's establishment, a newly acquired gentleman's club. Used to be just a strip club, and now was given to him, or he took it more to be more fair, and made it something that he and New Orleans could be more proud of than just a strip club. And the news reports when they woke up showed that there had been loss of life in the establishment. The building was lost, and that the owner was found dead inside. It turns out it was the actual on paper owner, and not in fact Sire Vegas, which it made Siren happy. That was good, right? Yeah.
Yeah, feeling super good right now.
And so they were essentially ushered into the clubhouse, given safety, given haven for the night, or for the day, should I say. And some took it, some did not. All the Primogens stayed. And then when the sun set and the kindred rose, not all the kindred were present that left, or that went to rest the night before. Ashes lay where former Primogen lay only hours before. The prince, his own personal locked chambers, were unlocked, broken into, and nothing but ashes remain in his room. Now, this isn't to say that their entire clubhouse was burnt from head to toe. It was literally piles of ashes from head to toe. And one of the primogens spoke up, as well as Lucy, the coteries' former shadow and protector and guide, essentially saying, "Get the fuck out. Hold together with your own sex until we can figure out what's going on." That there was not to be any primogen stepping up and replacing those who'd been lost until everyone figured out what was going on. That the allegiance to the Camarilla was going to hold above all. And that the city of New Orleans would figure out what the fuck was going on and who was responsible for not only blowing up one of the kindred buildings, but apparently assassinating the prince and the primogen of New Orleans. And as they were ushered out, a very distraught Lucy and Jem have a moment where Lucy cannot bear to even accept that the prince is gone. And then they left the clubhouse and they went to Iris's establishment, the ancient site. You guys left the episode with everybody walking in, Vegas being the last one to give Siren a one-armed hug, staring intently into the distance as he walks in behind everyone else and shuts the door. And that is where we're going to kick off tonight, with the current coterie, including Victor, into the ancient site, where Iris stands confused, distraught, with her arms crossed against her chest, and Vegas standing near the door. I turn it over to the coterie.
Someone want to wager
We're
a guess?
just in the store.
Yeah,
We're not
you're not in the secret little
Okay, we're not in the woods.
yeah, the TARDIS woods. You're just in the store.
Can I just try and get a read on Iris and what? Because I apologize. I just do not remember. Were we
It's been a week.
told
Yeah, go ahead.
were we told by Jem what happened, what she found?
No, and Lucy, you see Lucy and Jem visibly distraught. And go ahead, Victor.
I apologize. We were told
3 skulls.
three. Yeah, we were three skulls. So we were told it was
So
implied to us
some
that
sort of death happened.
that some death happened at the clubhouse, the extent of which we don't know.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
yes.
That's what I thought. Then actually, before trying to get a read on Iris, because she's fine, Jace will turn to Jem once she's in. Is everything okay? We
He's
got your
dead.
text.
They're all dead.
Who is all? And what the fuck happened to you? She turns to Vegas. What? Speaking of, what the fuck is going on?
Hold on. I'm gonna go make us some tea. Everybody take a seat. And get comfy.
And as you say that, both Vegas and Iris take a step tentatively forward to Jem. What do you mean everyone is dead?
Primogens are dead. There's nothing left but ash.
And you
Everyone
see,
who stayed in Elysium is dead.
well, not everybody. Just a side note, not everybody. It was just the primitive.
Everyone you met.
Everyone.
And Vegas sent me the 3 skulls text, so he knew something.
Yeah.
Just confirming.
And Iris comes up. She's. I knew that mine had. What?
You what?
Yeah, we have communication, Jace. Make the tea.
You will go about making tea, I guess.
And
Being
you see,
very confused.
you see Lucy. She starts to get more fidgety than she has been. She grabs a hold of her headphones, and she visibly like pushes them closer to her skull and starts to like semi rock back and forth. Vegas goes, all I knew was ours had as well. So
Everyone,
that makes...
except for the Bruja and the Gangrel and Hancock.
It's kind of debatable if that piece of shit is actually a primogen or not, but everyone but the Gangrel and the Bruja, I mean, they just went out into the city last night.
Primogens didn't.
Interesting. Do we know, Jem, how have you seen anything?
No.
Don't, it's okay. Don't, and you see Iris like put a hand to Vegas's shoulder. Don't push her.
I don't. No. No. But I can try. Can you please help Lucy?
And you see Iris get in front of Lucy and try to make eye contact. Lucy looks up, and there is rage and blood-soaked tears welling up in her eyes. He's not gone, Iris. He's not fucking gone. I can fucking feel him. He's not fucking gone. And Iris just, I understand. Do you want to go up to the woods? No. No, I'm gonna fucking go kill everyone in this fucking city until I find my prince. And Vegas takes another step forward. I get that. We can make some of that happen, but we gotta figure out who needs to die to get the right answers. And Iris looks at Vegas and goes, do you really think that's the best way to handle this? And you see Vegas take off his coat with one arm and goes to take it off. And it's from chest down to wrist, withered and burnt. And his very large and muscular frame, it looks like somebody put a corpse's arm onto his chest. Go ahead, Matthew.
Can I do a I think I recognize what happened to him. Can I do a check based on a recent discovery? Can I do an abyss specialty check for occult, maybe like intelligence occultism with my abyss/labyrinth specialty?
You can. Yes, you can.
While you do
Okay.
that, Siren doesn't know what the fuck this is, and she loses her entire mind. I'm sorry. What the fuck? If someone doesn't start just drumsticks out, just at themselves, tapping them on each other. If someone doesn't tell me what the fuck is going on right now, I'm with Lucy, and we're gonna go burn down the entire city.
Does
Siren-
Victor recognize the injury?
You recognize it as it could be a variety of things.
Okay.
From the Sabbat, it definitely could be a La Sombra attack.
Okay.
Like a withering touch. It could be a recently mutilated arm that he is trying to heal from through feeding. It could be. It looks like it was burned. It could be from the explosion.
Okay.
Your mind goes through, and you can see like Victor's seen a number of ways that someone could be injured like this through his experience.
It's 6 and up is a success, yeah?
Yes.
Mhm.
8 successes.
8 successes.
Yes.
Your mind's. Go ahead.
Is it? No, you go ahead. You go ahead, because I think I know exactly what it is, but I just want to make sure.
Well, you using your you feel the blood course through your veins, and with that brings a little bit more knowledge from just a day or two than you had before.
Yeah.
You know you could do something like that.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
But it looks
cool.
It looks different. Instead of withered, it looks like an older kindred burned to ash, but just on his arm.
Okay. I will just note that away.
So you know that it a withering touch could do that, but it is not what that is.
It's okay. Gotcha. Okay.
And he looks at Siren and says, I'm lucky that the Bruja and the Gangrel were outside of the fucking murder party, apparently. Somebody tried to lock me in my own club.
Who knew
And I got out.
Who knew you were there?
I'm trying to get things set up. That's where I've been at. And you see that there's not anger. There's nothing. There's slight frustration, but there's no solid emotion to grasp onto with the way that he looks and is talking. I've been there setting up, getting everything put online, putting the people in place that I need to put into place.
Ironic that my security guard of choice had his security torn out from under him. But you got the cameras set up yet? Any chance any of them survived? Any files survived? You don't know who this was, do you?
I don't think it was fucking Kindred.
So, that, she gestured his arm. Not some weird bullshit that I feel like Victor could do. Victor, I feel like you could, for some reason, I feel like you could do something like that. Is that...
It was property damage.
He caught fire.
I lost my fucking mind. The beast took over.
Which explains why he's now.
And I tried my best to claw myself out of my own fucking club.
What happened after?
The beast took over. And you know when that happens, that while he's still mentally present, there's a lot of things that could happen. That could mean when...
But you, at some point, came to.
It took me an entire... I lost control. I killed. I fed. I killed. I fed. And then the sun rose. And the sun set. The Bruja pulled me out, screaming from the inside. I'm not sure how they knew that I was one of them, other than it's my fucking place. They could break down from the outside, and I couldn't break down from the inside. And he looks over to Iris. You got a drink in the house. She goes, yeah, it's in the fridge. You're not going to like it. It's better than fucking nothing right now. And he actually walks towards you while you're in the kitchen setting up and starts getting in the fridge. But yeah, go ahead.
Hearing him talk about having gone on a literal murder rampage, I know I had gone through the news this morning or this evening to specifically look for bombing information, just because we knew that there had been an explosion. Can I also start rechecking the news on my phone for any sort of murder rampage?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and find me. Go ahead and do an intelligence occult, because like, not that there's, or you can use your computers and research.
Yeah, because I do have a research specialty, but it's in academics, and
this is not academically inclined.
Academics, so
I have academics, I think.
If only you had a friend who was really good at research.
Is it technology?
I'm not going to say it's technology or computers, just for the fact that like you know how to use your phone to use Google. Like, you're not trying to hack into like the police database from your Samsung or anything, but like
for now. No, I'm kidding. Okay, then what would you like me to do? Like
just do an intelligence occult.
Intelligence occult. Okay.
That way, while you're sifting through. I mean, this is New Orleans. It's not a huge busy time of the year, but to sift through, like, okay, let me look for wild animal attacks, because I know that usually wild animal attacks are either wild animal attacks, but in the city it's probably not.
Yeah. So I have 5 successes.
Holy shit.
5 successes?
Girl, give me mental stats, and I'm regularly rolling like 7 to 9 dice.
That's true.
There's one report
okay.
Near the wildlife reserve in the upper east side of the city.
Sure.
Which is about 30 minutes away from the club if you were to go north and east. Okay. Of what looks to be drownings, and there's two instances of 2 corpses that look like to be mutilated by local swamp life.
Okay.
That could also be.
You sure?
Gators usually don't just like bite and run.
Well, so yeah, I mean, like, honestly, if it's just like local wildlife attack, even though like I know what that is, sure, I don't really care. I just want to make sure that they're not like local serial killer on the loose.
You don't. Nothing. You definitely see that the bombing has taken precedence over anything else. Now, whether or not there was stuff that was missed or not given enough light doesn't matter.
Sure.
The bombing took precedence over every news source.
Perfect. That's all I wanted to know. Just wanted to make sure.
As Vegas walks out, I'm gonna walk over to Siren and put my body in between them. And is that who told you to go to the clubhouse?
Yeah, why?
That happened after the explosion.
Yeah. So.
Beasts don't text.
Yeah. I know. She goes and she's
Point of order.
Yeah.
Where's Alex at? Did we discuss that? She's with
Alex
Rebecca, correct?
She robined away.
Alex.
Yes, she went to do her own thing, remember?
She did. Okay.
Yes.
That was supposed to be like, I knew that she was having one episode off for something, and I knew it was research based. That's right.
Yes. Right. She said she knew where to go to find out her own answers about who sold her all of our mysteries that we have discussed. I told her I was going back to see what had happened last night. I alerted her that there was violence.
And you asked for careful. 24 hours of
before she starts
murderous,
doing things. So yes, there was that. So, and I just sort of to Siren one more time. It says what time, right? And he holds up the phone.
He doesn't know how. It's a clock, right? It's
He doesn't know how
On-
Windows work
no.
either.
No, he does have
Who
problems with
does?
Windows.
Who does?
No, it's so uh just because I know this is on a Galaxy thing. Sometimes like after it's been a while, it'll put a time up.
Yeah.
You can have
It'll
it show
timestamp.
you
Yeah.
all the timestamps of every
Because
single
the
message.
problem was
I don't think he's figured out that second
that
step.
setting. He just knows that it can happen.
Right.
Well, and the thing is, and she's but the problem is, I was in and out of service, and it took me a while for text to go through.
It doesn't matter.
He was in and out of service.
He needed a new phone. Because when you start getting texts, it was from a different number.
But the
Right.
different number was the one with the 3 skulls. The
Yeah,
original
that-
number. So that's
5 texts that you got.
So she's going to go off. She pulls the phone out and she checks it. If I remember correctly, several of them happened right after the bombing. And there was a long break, and then it was, "Where are you? Are you okay? Where are you? You went here." All of those things.
But
You
Victor
got-
brings up a very good point, is that there were text messages during a time that he is now claiming that he lost control while inside the Burning Club.
So
And she
it-
immediately.
there's if I'm not mistaken, out of character real quick. So the explosion happened. You guys had text conversations back and forth because
Mhm.
that's when
Yep.
you tried to tell Victor to go to the clubhouse,
Yep.
and he was like, "What?
Yep.
Jotun."
Yep.
Then you got another chunk of them while we were at the clubhouse. Those came in a burst
Yeah.
that you had responded to,
Yeah.
and then you got the new number this morning,
And
or basically, right?
and
last night,
and
this
there was
morning.
the implication from the new number knowing that the old number was the one that was, "Where the fuck are you? What's that sort of shit?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She-
So there
At
was
the end of the
Yeah,
night.
she
yeah.
So-
pushes.
so there's two instances immediately after
Yes.
the explosion. I'm just this
Yeah.
me establishing that I'm understanding.
Yep.
Immediately after the explosion, and then I know there's like 2 or 3 hours between explosion and daylight, where at some point in there in the last hour, you get another chunk of Vegas texts.
She doesn't say anything. She looks. She
And is-
scrolls. She scrolls through the phone really fast and gives as she's quickly memorizing the timestamps as close as she can, and opens up the Safari browser, and also goes to double check the news and see what time the explosion was, officially what time the explosion stamp came, when the news said it happened.
It was. So you guys had been at the. We'll say is roughly about 2 a.m. because you guys had had a full night's of activity and you were at. I didn't write the time down.
That's right.
But you guys only had a few hours left from when you guys were at.
If I remember correctly, like
The post office.
if sunrise is 6 a.m.,
Mhm.
then it was like 3 hours before. If sunrise is 7 a.m.,
Yeah.
then,
Yeah,
it,
so we'll
then it was
say,
like
like,
4.
We'll say
So-
we'll say it was roughly about 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And what time did the first? I texted him after the explosion already started.
You did,
Yeah.
yes. He did not text first.
No, yeah. Never mind. I was gonna be a dick. She. She goes back to the old number. Mutes her own caller so that no voices will pick up. And calls the other number. At watching Vegas across the room to see if anything buzzes.
No, it says call attempt failed.
Good.
'Cause you do know that you tried to text it and it said
Yeah.
message undeliverable.
Yes. But just in case, whoever they are, either they don't have it anymore, or it broke, or because burner phones, whatever. She pushes past Victor a little bit and goes up. How you supposed to pour a drink with that fucking thing? Let me. She takes and helps get whatever drink he was gonna get. Because
And he holds the glass in his hand and lets you.
So, when did they lock you in?
I was already in there. I didn't realize I was locked in until the building. And he starts looking around. Was already on fire. Jace, are you still right there next to him? Are you still in the kitchen?
No, I was literally.
Because like you were making tea, but then you've had like a side conversation elsewhere. Like, are you still in the kitchen?
All I did
He's
was
a good
I
Southern boy.
pulled out my phone, but no. So actually, I just put this in our private chat that as soon as Siren started to come over, he left because
good
he
point.
knows better
Okay,
than to
yeah,
be in
yeah.
the kitchen when people are arguing.
And
So-
I came over with passive aggressive argument energy, didn't I?
Listen,
Little
you
bit.
can listen. He can feel when somebody comes stomping across the room,
She
even
wears
if it's
combat
subtle.
boots.
Even if
She's
it's
always
subtle
gonna stomp. Okay, that's
There's
not.
a difference.
But
There's
he
a
says that
difference.
loud enough, like you weren't essentially subtle with it, so he matches your volume.
Good.
He says, well, I was already in there, and then when the building caught on fire, I realized I couldn't get out. But he does kind of like look to the other people in the room.
And when did you? You woke up dressed. You woke up still wearing this from the Beast.
He like leans in very like slowly to your ear. I went home and got dressed. I was awakened with blood and dirt and without a majority of my clothes on. Let's not have this conversation in the middle of fucking everyone. I see you brought a friend.
I wouldn't call him a friend.
I wouldn't call him anything that I want to have discussed around him. And he kind of like leans back.
Fine.
There's an age difference here, and he is noticing it.
I'm gonna watch, and if Vegas looks back over to me, let me know, and I will act accordingly.
Like you do see him do like the initial kind of like sweep
Yeah.
as he's talking. You don't without making a check. You don't necessarily hear what he's saying when he goes into whisper.
I'm
but you do see
yeah.
that
I mean,
he's
I'm
watching everyone.
vaguely enough watching. I spoke with Siren. They're having a quasi-public, now private argument. I don't need to hear exactly what it's about, but I will just keep an eye in the direction of him and Iris in question. But as that's wrapping up, if I may, sorry, I don't want to cut you off, Siren.
Unless there's anything, he just stands there and like lets you pour him a drink, and is he's not wanting to continue the conversation. Like he doesn't go along with the conversation, but he hasn't told you to shut the fuck up yet. So I mean, if you're
He doesn't
wanting
have
to
to
continue,
say it in words. There was a look. She knows. So she finishes pouring the drink and good. Well, glad you got out.
I have a question. So, excuse me. Forgot her name.
Iris,
Thank
or
you.
Lucy.
Iris.
Okay.
Iris. I have a question. Iris and Vegas, when you have a moment.
He raises a glass and starts walking over.
The Bruja and Gangrel. What's the relationship with them and the Camarilla in the city? Many Bruja sects and Gangrel sects have declared themselves independent of late, and I'm not entirely sure they were trusted, perhaps by your prince. Maybe he was onto something.
You see Vegas take a drink and and Iris kind of goes back to her like stereotypical mom pose. They were offered a choice when everyone else throughout the nation decided to leave the Camarilla. They could stay and make this something that they would want to be a part of. To grow the Camarilla in New Orleans in a way that we could bring everyone under the same banner, or they could leave.
That's Carthage talk right there.
You're not wrong. The majority did leave. Alliances, duty, honor. The ones that stayed were either rebelling against themselves or found the concept of breathing new life into something more powerful. The Gangrel, they've got their refuge. The only way to keep their refuge would be to fall in line. There were negotiations where the prince said, as long as you don't break the masquerade, as long as you adhere to the tenets, that land is yours. Very few people in the city have room to call their own. A wildlife refuge that's that sizable, if they didn't take it, the Nosferatu most likely would have. And they did. The majority of the Gangrel stayed. The majority of the Brujah left. The Gangrel have the refuge. The Brujah have the trams. They have the motorways inside the city. The rail cars. That was their boon that the prince gave to them for sticking around when no one else really did. To my knowledge, they had a working relationship.
Of course. Of course. Who's the sheriff of New Orleans?
Tamiko, Nosferatu.
Know them?
Well enough. I don't know them. The Tremere and the Nosferatu don't have the closest working relationship here in New Orleans like they seem to do with the Blue Bloods. But I haven't seen any reason to suspect that if you're insinuating that she is unloyal, that is the case.
I have no insinuation as to anyone's loyalty. I have suspicions as to opportunity.
And Vegas looks down and says, "What opportunity are you seeing?"
I'm gonna
Yep.
What opportunity are you not seeing?
I see an investigation. I see a lot of questions that I want fucking answered.
Yes,
Not
absolutely.
necessarily in the place to ask.
Well, I am he's gonna struggle to find a reference. Is a hardy boy at heart.
I love Victor.
Thanks. Are you familiar with London? With the fall of London?
With the fall of London, yes. I haven't ever actually been there. And then Iris goes, "Oh, I'm very familiar."
With which?
The fall of
Iris.
London. All of the Tremere are.
Yeah. The fall of London was done methodically,
Piece by piece, and
domain
she
by
looks down.
domain, in a matter of nights. We understand that the Second Inquisition is not a monolithic organization, but the fall of London is a public enough event to have served as an example for all those that would follow. The methodology is simple enough to learn. Trap them in, set it ablaze,
You
stake any
see,
that comes out.
when you say that, there is a definitive shudder in Vegas.
Mhm. Now, if you know that example works, and your goal is to kill vampires, to kill kindred, why change it?
Why only one place?
Exactly. Can't rinse a city clean at once, but
You can if you gather everybody important into one fucking building.
exactly. But not everybody. Right? And he'll turn to Jem. Yourself, Lucy, and the primogen of the Bruja and the Gangrel.
And there were other kindred in that building other than
So-
the primogens, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
there was a small, aside from the Bruja and the Gangrel, there's a smallish delegation of everybody.
30 we
Yeah.
established.
A couple from each. The more Toreador than really anybody else.
The solo Bruja and Gangrel. I believe it was 7 Ventru. And then small contingents of each of the rest of the
Everybody
clan.
else.
Those were the specific numbers that Victor was able to count.
Mm.
I'm just trying, out of character,
Mhm.
Victor's trying to confirm with Jem that as far as she knows, from my understanding, Cody's understanding is literally the other 30, 40-ish people in the building are gone.
Jem
With the
said
exception
everyone.
with the exception of Jem, Lucy, Bruja, which Ramon, right?
Yeah, Ramon.
And Q something?
RQ.
RQ.
RQ. Okay. I was gonna go with Georgia, but that's fine. RQ is fine. So as far as he understands, it is those 4 individuals.
Plus
Who's 5?
Hancock.
Hancock. Apologies. Hancock 5. So so that's what I'm trying to ask Jem is
Was it just the primogen, or were there other people that lived?
right.
Or
Yeah.
survived?
And as he asks, he's actually going to pull his phone out and check with Rebecca Chase. I don't remember where she was.
She didn't stay.
Yeah, she did not stay. She left when you told Alex that Alex could leave.
Yeah.
Rebecca Chase was not far behind.
Okay.
Alex.
Cool. But please go ahead, Jem.
No, just they're all dead.
So am I asking the right questions?
And he looks from you to Jem, goes, I've had communication with some of the Toreador. They're not, can't kill the roses that fucking easily. The primogen, yes. Are they all gone? And he looks like very confused and puzzled, and not doubting you because he's already learned not to do that. But very. And Iris goes, no, the Tremere primogen, yes. Not all of the Tremere are dead. And she looks at Jem and goes, I think this is a matter of importance, not individual counts. And she looks at Victor.
But none of the Tremere woke up, and I'm gonna turn to Jace because I watched him do weird, salt magic circle ash stuff at my place. Like I got to get the dirt devil out and vacuum that shit up when I get home.
Yeah.
No, and
Right,
and that's
my
exactly the
security
thing.
deposit.
Like as soon as Iris was like, the Tremere's dead. Like, I mean, it had been mentioned earlier, but with Iris so casually saying it, Jace is just kind of like, as you look over at him, just kind of like a little bit jaw dropped, confused look. That's kind of 101, right?
It's kind of fucking stupid not to plan ahead and just rest assured that you're hermetic bullshit is going to save you because no one would kill you where you decide to lay your head. Yeah. Good times. Did I teach you better than that?
I mean, yeah.
I'm fucking glad.
So
And you-
so stupidity and negligence is what we're going for with
And complacency?
That
I
man
guess.
was complacency and stupidity is what that man stood on top of as his platform.
all right.
Age and power and wisdom doesn't do shit unless you take the certain precautions to keep it. And she looks back at Jace.
Jace is if he's have Siren and Vegas come back from the
Vegas
kitchen?
came back. Siren just shouted her yeah,
Dang
unless
it.
it was to get us all in the room from the kitchen.
Dang it. Okay.
But Vegas came back. You have nowhere to go. You can be comfortable.
No,
I
no,
am forcing
it's
this
not
scene
that.
to be awkward.
No, it's not that. It's that Jace was gonna lean over and have a remark, but Jem is not the person to have that remark at, so he'll just keep it bottled
Come
inside.
over to the kitchen and have an aside like we're in a melodrama. Like,
No, because it was just gonna be like, oh, if that ever happens to me, just fucking stake me or some shit. But that's not the thing to say to Jem right now.
if I ever get that arrogant, just
so he
fucking-
just so he just keeps that inside.
He starts it.
Nope,
Never
never mind.
Yeah, literally, he like leans over. Not the time or person.
He sees the look in her eyes of just everything that Jem is going through right now and goes,
Jem's not looking at any of you.
exactly, that's
No,
the point.
exactly.
She's not, yeah.
Exactly.
That was his point.
Yeah. So okay. So we know that an explosion happened theoretically to draw everyone in to a safe haven.
Mhm.
But how did they know what place everybody would be at? Because there are several places that everybody could have gathered. In fact, the Prince's Haven was probably one of the most obvious, so it would be thought that we wouldn't go there for
Unless-
obvious choices.
I mean,
So how did they know to go there to go kill everyone?
And Iris stays looking at you and she goes, I'm not sure why the prince invited the wolves into his den. But he doesn't sleep with the doors unlocked.
Yeah, and Jem, how did
And Lucy screams. She looks at Jem. She nods and then bolts out of the entire, like, she starts taking off towards the door unless anybody would like stop her.
I'm just following her.
what the,
Do you have celerity?
No, I think we talked about this. No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch her. I'm gonna
he's like,
just-
I have celerity, we're good.
No, fuck you. She's getting, then if she can't get after her, she's going to block the door.
Unless you have celerity, you're not catching her.
Yeah.
She took the
But
time to like
if
not.
Victor's gonna,
Victor
if
does have celerity.
Yeah, he
I'm
can get
gonna,
past
I'm
it.
gonna try to get in his way then.
okay. I'm
You
not
won't be
trying
able
to
to
like.
you won't be able to get in his way either. If he's going to try to use celerity to,
I don't know what he can do. He hasn't-
you can
hasn't
move
hit
towards
me
him.
yet. Come on, motherfucker, let's dance.
You see her in a blink of eye, like a blink of your eye, shoot past you. Victor, you can
Yeah.
catch up with her.
I'll roll the rouse check. Oh, natural 10. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good.
So yeah. So if I can't intercept her, which I'm just gonna, we can have the Quicksilver conversation of like, what are you doing? What's going on?
Hey,
Stop and tell me what's happening.
what's
Like,
up? You up for
trying
a
to
jog?
do you
that.
Nice
do you
night.
physically stop her, or
If-
like you're in
if-
front of the door?
If I can, right? If I can catch her from going outside, creating a masquerade breach, and get her to tell me what's happening, that's my goal.
Valid.
Roll me a dexterity brawl.
Okay. Perfect. That's my best. That's 9 with my kindred focus.
With 9 successes or 9
No,
dice?
9 dice.
I was like, yeah, you get her. As far as
You
Or-
catch her before she
Uh,
thinks
Jesus,
about
man.
moving. You just know
6.
you
beforehand.
just no 9.
All right.
He's so fast that he saw into the future.
She's like, I didn't do anything. You were gonna.
There's celerity at 5 is like no matter what happens within reason, you can kind of be like, no storyteller, I do this.
Yeah, you think faster than the storyteller does in a lot of places. Like,
Okay, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 successes and a messy success,
Lord.
and on regular dice 2 nat ones, but I don't think that offsets the
rolling
so
hers
total
now,
of
yeah.
5. Total of 5 successes. One of them. Being
She got 1
messy or
success with a crit. You get in front of her. Now she is still going to try to like shoot out through a window or anything. If you would like to grab her with those successes, you can.
I'm doing my best if I need to rouse potency as well I just want to like bear hug, like we'll go with you. You just need to speak. Use your words. And I guess I'm yelling over the earphones because I don't understand that she can that she
Anybody
exists
else would
without
assume
them.
like you can hear the music, so you would just assume that you need to speak louder than the music.
Right. Yeah. Calm down. We
And
will
you have
help
her
you.
in like a
What is happening? Yeah.
a bear hug, and she stares at you and she screams as loud as she can. She has, like I said before, she has
Oh, come on,
blood
buddy.
welling up in her eyes.
Okay.
Let's do this again.
I'm gonna so I do have her as I rouse
You
potency.
with your brawl, your dexterity brawl versus her 1 success, even if it was a crit, there's
So as I have her, if I can
Yeah.
slow my face down enough to look at Iris for some Tremere magic help to be like, hey,
you see
give her a sedative.
you
Get
see
the
Iris
vampire Xanax out. Somebody.
You see Iris and Vegas running over to you. Vegas like throws his glass down and reaches, and he's trying to like he grabs her like by the back of her dress essentially,
Sure.
and you see Iris start trying to pull at your arms. I need you already rolled potence.
That's fine.
So go ahead and roll me another dexterity brawl, and this will be against Iris's to get her off of you. You can tell like they don't know
They're
what's going
disagreeing.
on.
Right.
They're
That's
taking
fine.
her away from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But she doesn't
yeah,
have the dexterity brawl that Lucy does.
that's fine.
What?
Yeah.
Which mom isn't? Is it?
No, she
Yeah,
is
but she's
not.
got that
Fucking
mom
street
adrenaline
brawler.
going. She
Her
could lift a
charisma,
car.
real good. Fighting,
Yeah, she could lift a
mm.
car right now if she needed to.
Dexterity firearms, however.
Hell yeah.
6 successes. 1 is a
Fuck.
critical.
Yeah.
1 is a messy.
you were holding on to her. I'm gonna roll for you like
Am I doing? I'm waltzing with her as people are trying to like pull her out.
yeah,
of
like
my
she's your
arms.
tiny little Lolita football
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah. Just tuck. Yeah, we're gonna Heisman.
The thing
Um,
is so
I'm gonna try to explain to people. They're like, I will let her go. She is fine. I want to know what she knows.
there's even Vegas one because he's rolling at severe disadvantage of not
Yeah.
being able to use his all other arm.
Yeah.
You have her. They cannot pull her off out of your grip or remove your grip. And they say, let her fucking go. And you see her Iris, please, what are you doing? Please. And you, as you try to explain, like, she's fine. Lucy is going to try to bite at you. Not at your neck or
Right. Yeah. But,
trying to inflict pain.
okay.
You're going to make another dexterity brawl. Or do you have something else that you would like to roll on top of that?
The only thing.
What do you have active for potence?
So I have
Because I'm not sure if Fangs
prowess,
could hurt you. Right?
prowess, and uncanny grip.
Tap your mic.
Sorry.
Me?
No, I was sitting here tapping
yeah.
my mic. I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
Yeah.
So prowess allows me to add my potence, half my potence to like
Mhm.
melee damage and stuff. Uncanny grip is I get to do the I get to claw into stuff to climb things. So
Yeah, he claws.
yeah, so I don't get to like run up something really fast. I just go like, concrete is mine.
I have a really important question though, for
Yes.
mechanical reasons. Could fangs be used for that? Could you hop your way onto something? Like,
Yeah, answer the question.
And then hop
I'll
up.
allow
know
it.
if it's possible at some points. If that's
I'm
the
sure in
case,
some universes you could climb with your teeth, not this one.
thank God.
However,
that's too much, but like I needed to know
the-
if that was a visual. I could accept.
the uncanny. Are you activating uncanny grip?
Uncanny grip.
Like into her is.
I didn't
okay.
specific. No. I'm not. I'm not trying to hurt her. I'm not trying to grab her that hard.
Okay.
I roused. I figured blink and prowess is what I would need
Mhm.
to make this happen, and rapid reflex, which is always on basically, but it lets me dodge bullets without having
Now,
cover.
So go ahead.
I will. So as she starts trying to bite me, two quick questions. One, do I think this is like the beast, or do I think she's just having a Malk moment?
She's having you can tell that she is very angry, but she is
Sure.
You get the impression that it's still her.
Great.
Now that this is the first time that we've had combat. So the way the combat works in Vampire is like closest to farthest away.
Okay.
I incorporated age into that in Victor using, okay, if I see her taking off running, I'm going to activate the same powers that she's using.
Right.
So with that being said, now the other three have actions that they can do.
Yep.
While she's trying to gnaw at him. He's right now he's dodging out of it because she hasn't made that attack yet. But you see her like she's trying to. So is there anything that you would like to do, the three coterie members, or let this play out?
Jace is looking to Jem to make sure that she is okay and seeing what Jem wants to do.
Can I make a check to see just how overwhelmed she is?
You don't even have to. This is the farthest gone you've ever seen Lucy.
No. Me.
You, yes.
Yeah,
If you
no,
roll
no,
me,
I'm aware.
roll me,
Willpower?
roll me a willpower check.
Okay.
Exposure resolve is willpower. Yeah,
Mhm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I got a crit fail and a
Fuck.
1 success.
A crit fail and a what?
And 1 success.
Okay. So
while this is happening, then
I'm not going to say that the beast takes over for a crit fail on composure because one,
Yeah.
you asked for the composure roll
okay,
and to see how you would be feeling. Two, you're not actually responding to anything other than something you've been dealing with the majority of the night so far.
yeah,
So I'm going to let you play out how your failure to compose yourself happens.
she's once the whole like Victor started running after her and stuff, she's just leaving the store.
The way that I'm imagining it in my head, theater of the mind, is that they are in front of the door. And with the four of them
for
there,
fuck's sake,
yeah.
just let me get out of this fucking building.
Sorry, you can get out through a window.
Secret woods.
You can go up to the wood. You can't go up to the
No,
woods. You can go up to the
you can't.
door.
I don't want to
Yeah.
be in the woods. I want to go home. I want to go back to my bar, talk to Whiskey Lou, the only man I trust anymore.
So
How dare you?
so Jem is going to suffer 2 points penalty for dexterity, manipulation, composure, and wits.
How do I
Ooh.
do that?
It's just
Basically, if you roll, you're going to roll 2 less dice for those.
Yeah.
I'm
And
going
that's
to leave it
not
up
forever. That's just
for now.
now-ish. Okay.
However, your delusion or derangement or Malkavian greatness, however you are rolling that with her, it manifests.
Yeah, that's why she wants to leave. Okay.
If you cannot leave, and that is your I need to find a better way of saying this.
Compulsion.
Yeah, if that is your compulsion,
Her superpower.
if that is your superpower,
Yeah, I mean, it's the whatever your clan is has
Yeah,
the
it's-
negative.
Yeah, but
it's
like just the
compulsion, I
phrasing
guess.
of it is so dick.
We're trying
Sure.
not to
Well,
cause
'cause it's
wrong
like-
with
a
you?
problem,
Well, it's-
basically. Yeah.
Everybody
No,
has a
yeah.
compulsion. Everybody has a clan compulsion or a bane.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, well, their bane is derangement. I'm like,
That
okay,
doesn't
can we
sound
just say
Yeah.
your bane is a bane?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Why you gotta
your
be like
compulsion
that,
is to what?
man?
If you don't want to say it on the show yet,
yeah.
you don't have to.
I don't yet.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
So
then fuck it. She can't do what she needs to do or what she wants to do. She's gonna crisscross applesauce and try to get a vision.
make me another willpower check to see if you do or not. See if you can fight past your compulsion.
And this is 2 less.
It would actually be 4 less because of composure and wits is 2 and 2. So you're just using composure -2.
So it would be your
It's composure and
resolve.
resolve,
Ooh,
but minus
but
2
minus
dice.
2. So for you, I think it's like 3 dice.
Yeah. So that and then
Hunger is not involved.
so this is wits composure.
Composure resolve. It's your normal, but you're going to be rolling
Resolve.
2 less dice because you are under your compulsion.
Nope.
Okay, so Gem, would you like me to take control of your beast, or would you like to ride the wave? But you have to get out of this building.
I'm getting out of this building.
If that is your
I'm getting
drive,
I'm going home.
you cannot stop until you feel safe again in your home. So would you like to ride the wave, or would you like me to control the beast?
Oh, let's ride.
Go for it. So while you see this, Jace and Siren, while you see the others struggling to pull Lucy from the grasp of Victor, and Victor saying, "I'm not trying to hurt her. I'm just trying to stop her from getting out." From behind you,
Uh-huh.
you hear this guttural, animalistic, rage-filled growl.
I just want to get the fuck out of this fucking building.
Unfortunately, Jem could not use
Words.
communication,
know.
but
Ah!
If I spoke escaping vampire,
like if you spoke
that's what it would
spoke
sound like.
wolf,
Yeah.
if you spoke
Yeah.
wolf, like murder, death, kill, that
Just
that
wanna
kind of
go
thing.
Home, guys.
I just like
Don't
to
want to
think
be a deal.
I like to
I
think
just
at
wanna
this
go.
point, Siren, she's in the kitchen. She has when the kerfuffle started at the door, she drumsticked like they were gonna be weapons, and she's standing there like about to make a choice. She has a gun. She's not about to use it. She's standing about to make a choice. Here's the roar, and just has a, Sean Bean in They Have a Cave Troll. It's that energy where
Yeah.
she hears it and she, of course, and turns her
Okay.
focus.
There's a troll in the dungeon.
She turned. No, that's panicked. This is
This is
resigned.
resolved and tired.
This is fucking done. I'm out of spoons. I don't want to grab my knives. I only have.
Jace, are you trying to use your thing? You have something that could be useful in this situation.
Please don't
However,
Diablerize
Is it called-
me.
no,
Is it eating people?
but you have 5 individuals out of the 7 in here that could use that boon that I think you can do. However, as Jace starts to look at that, Jem, describe what you do.
Okay.
The door is
so-
blocked. We'll say for this, there is a window on the left hand and right hand side.
Okay.
You don't know if there's a back door or not. You've never really been back there much.
Yeah.
And there's bedrooms and stuff upstairs. And the woods.
Okay, everything's 2 less though, so fuck me. I'm just because she's going crazy. I'm just gonna break the window. If they're in front of the door, I'm just gonna break the window.
Before. Oh, Sway, you're muted.
How are you muted? Okay,
Sorry.
tapped it.
I tapped it. No, I tapped my stream deck. So there is a Calm the Beast. It's blood sorcery. You can either stoke the flames or increase hunger. but I'm not sure if you have that yet.
Oh, a blood sorcery thing? No.
Okay.
No, I do not. If it's a ritual, I have been
No, it's
much
like
more
a-
concerned with the warding things. And
The
then
warding is a good thing. Too bad the
oh,
Primogen didn't do it.
No, the reason that I didn't take that one is because whenever I was briefly glancing at it, I guess I missed the part about being able to calm a beast. And instead, all I saw was the bit about being able to make somebody more hungry. And I went, that's
Why would I do
useless.
that?
I don't want to be able to do that. So I don't have that.
Says the
but
man
I
who ate somebody.
would.
And Jem, unfortunately, not in this case. I'm sorry, I just saw your message.
That's okay.
Am
So
I able to do the other? Would the
What
other
other
thing
thing?
that I mentioned in that second message to you, Sway, would that have any influence here?
no.
Okay.
The way that I interpret it is that you could do that to her, but not the beast. The beast give no fucks.
Fair enough.
That's why I
okay,
wasn't,
that's
that's why I
fine.
didn't try to use awe to like calm her down. I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think enacting
You
awe.
you would attract attention, but it wouldn't
that's-
be.
Yeah, that feels.
But it
very
would not be
stupid.
good.
Yeah, no.
Good.
Well, it's like you're not. You'd be like, "Huh, I don't give a fuck,"
Exactly.
and then
It would just
so
waste the.
you're facing the door, and then on the left hand side and the right hand side is a window. Which one do you want to go out of?
Right.
Right side window. Go ahead and make me a dexterity brawl. Or dexterity for the running and jumping. Do you have something else you would like to add to dexterity for? Because you're not really fighting the window.
I like because technically breaking in is my feeding type.
So breaking
That's
out.
stealth.
She's breaking into the outside.
Well, but I realize but I also have I don't, do I? That is stupid.
No, not so much wits. The wits
Yeah.
wouldn't come into place here. Let me look at physical disciplines.
like a survival, or like
No, I
a
think it's just gonna be like
athletics.
I think it would just be like brawl to
Yeah,
get. through the
actually,
window.
dexterity athletics would be perfect for this. Thank you.
Okay. And I take 2 dice away from that.
because it's dexterity. Yes.
For
Okay,
dexterity,
I don't think I have
only for
any-
dexterity.
I only have 2 index.
Do you have
Mhm.
anything in athletics?
I have 1.
You're gonna roll one,
You're gonna roll 1 dice. This is just to see how well you
which
get
is
through the
probably
window.
your hunger die. To be fair, but also like it's a window. You can.
I'm just
Like, the
rolling
window
1
will
die.
not be able to stop you. This is
Yeah.
this is kind of just how.
I got a 2.
well you do. Okay. You dive through and you tuck and roll on the outside of that, on the outside of the window.
Dope.
At this time,
I full on, what is it? Cowardly lion.
you're still the beast until you get home. You do not have celerity, so you do not move faster than human vision. You do move faster than the majority of humans in the world. So you are Usain bolting, because that is still human. That is still fucking above the majority of the humans. You Usain Bolt to where?
She's going back to the bar.
Going to
there's
the bar?
There's an entrance in the back alleyway. That sort of it leads through the kitchens and stuff
Okay.
and the storage, so she can just go straight to her office and not have to deal with customers or anything.
So Siren and Jace, by the time that you can actually react to 2 situations and don't know where to push your energy to,
Yeah.
Jem is out the fucking window. And Iris lets go and starts looking out the window.
I
And
mean,
you guys can- go ahead. You still have celerity up and running.
Right. So here's the thing. I want to give them their opportunity to do whatever they're going to do. As soon as Lucy starts trying to bite me, and I realize everybody else is freaking out, I'm going to let her go and just follow her because I can. That was my plan. I want to give everybody else their opportunity. I know I'm celerity, but everybody should get a turn. So
Yeah. So Siren and Jace, you see this happening and you start to see like it looks like Victor's going to let her go. Like not wanting to get bit on the fucking face, neck, and shoulder area.
You bit.
You bit?
I
Fucking hell. I do have celerity.
Mhm.
And I would like to, in a snap decision, just fuck. And she says that too. Just fuck. like Geralt but pissier, is going to I would like to activate that and yeet myself out the window after her.
Okay, so if you're going to activate celerity, Jace, is there anything that you wanted to do before?
He is going to look at where Jem ran. Look at the other clusterfuck that's happening.
Mhm.
Like, just look at the window.
Do you see?
I mean,
You see
just
a
the
broken window, and
Yeah.
then
just the window, and
Yep.
and he's gonna look at that, look at the other group, look back at the window, look at Siren looking like she's about to bolt.
Look at your vampire.
And then
Now back
just-
at me. Now back
and
at
then
your
just
vampire. Now back at
Sit
me.
down on the couch and
Yeah.
grab a cup of tea.
yeah, it's very Irish of you.
and
I
The most
appreciate
gay
that.
witch
And
boy
he's
moment
just-
ever.
And he's gonna just like deep sigh, and pull out his journal.
You're just like, I'm done. Okay.
There is too much, and this is not like there are many a thing that Jace fancies himself capable at. This is not his wheelhouse. The adults are having their fun. He'll sit here and drink tea.
So Victor, since your celerity is already up and running, while you're looking around the room at everyone trying to come at you, and including this little Lolita trying to bite at your neck, you see Siren running towards you, but not towards you directly. It looks like she's about to go out the window as well. You may do what you wish.
I'm gonna back me and Lucy out of the door
Okay.
and let her go. And if she comes at me, I'm gonna do the schoolyard, hold her head.
Oh my god.
And if she runs in another direction, I'm going to run with her. I
Okay.
can only keep up with one at a time, and this one I think is most likely to get themselves killed and or staked at this point. So this is what I got. And I get nobody wanting, like, I understand people being like, he's gonna kill her. Like, yeah, I know that's my thing, but at this point I need
Well, and there was also like you did see that when they realized you weren't trying to like snap her neck off her
Yeah.
body, they were like, but still, you know.
but don't
like
touch her like
this.
that. It's like, yeah, I
Principal.
get it, I understand, but she's freaking out. So
As soon as you let go of her, she starts like trying to get at the door, and there's a hesitation of like mind moving too fast to make body do what want to do.
yeah,
and
like,
tries to, like,
I took her. That's why I took her out the door. Like
Oh yeah, if you want to go out the door,
yeah, I backed out the door with her in my arms before.
you're going
I
to
let
have
her
to take
go.
one arm off of her to open the door.
Is it a pull door? A push
Yeah.
door.
It is.
Because
It is
if
a
I
pull
want a
inward.
push.
door.
Oh,
to
I'll
the
push
store.
if I want to push.
That's kind of the thing. Is like she was trying to like, is it pull? Is it push? Because Lucy don't know. Lucy trying to get the fuck out.
I mean, doesn't she? I thought she lived here, but that's fine.
Oh, no,
Iris.
Iris lives here. Lucy.
Iris.
Decided that Lucy just.
Oh,
sleeps
that
here a
was
lot.
you guys.
Yeah,
That's
that
fine.
was a ship,
Yes.
not a
That's-
confirmed.
All right. Listen, I'll one arm Tucker.
Okay.
And
Dexterity
open the
brawl
door.
the moment that you take
That's-
one arm off of her.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll do that.
Her brawl sucks too. Oh, okay.
5 is a failure.
5 is a failure.
Great. Okay, 4 successes.
She has 3 successes, 2 of a crit. So you do hold on to her, but you're losing control. But as soon as you open up the door and you're going to back out with her, she is still pulling. Trying to get out of your grip. But she is going to try to drag you to the left, which is the opposite way that Meg ran.
All right, I'm going to the left. Like I'm
Okay.
not fighting her. Once I get her
To the left.
outside,
Every
I'm
vamp
just-
you own, out the door to the left.
going.
So
I'm sticking with Lucy. I apologize to all of my fellow players, and I do not mean to split the party, but at this
Oh
point,
no, that
I
was
feel
apparently going to happen anyway. All of us are going.
No,
all of us have
that's-
shit. No,
Bitch.
you're fine.
We split it every week
You're
before
good.
you
So-
showed
that's fine.
up.
I really
That's
do.
fine.
Hashtag
That's
well, so
fine.
here's the
Lucky
thing:
me.
is that I knew which way Lucy was going to run.
Yeah.
That's why I asked Jem left or right.
Got it. Totally fine. That is what I am doing, and then the rest of my time is to keep up with Lucy, and or attempt to keep her from killing herself,
Yeah.
or completely exposing the entirety of the masquerade to all of human civilization.
Siren, you have celerity up and you're running towards the exits.
Yeah.
Do you go left or do you go right? Do you go with Victor and Lucy?
No, I follow Jem.
Okay.
I have so my do I have to so the one I made the rouse check for the super fast celerity stuff, but my cat's grace is free. That's just like passive. It just happens. Great. So I would like to, so as not to cause. Actually, she goes and she hangs in the window for a second and yeets herself, and she'd like to stay to the roofs. I would like to pull a Mission Impossible 5 or whatever the one that they're in New Orleans is. There's lots of rooftop options. So
since you have celerity and you
but from above.
Okay. Since you have celerity and you have cat's grace, 100% you can outpace Jem. And you can do so. You don't know where she's going. However, you can do so pretty quietly and with seemingly very little trouble. You find the nearest ladder well to fire escape outside of city buildings that I've never been to.
I just use my teeth.
You see, she kitten bites all the way up there with her cat's grace. So you're pacing, and you quickly are realizing that with your celerity, you can outpace her, and you are just hopping from one building to the next, trying to figure out where she's going to go.
The worst escort mission ever.
This is twofold.
Slow Torin walking.
It's obnoxious. But it is so that if people notice me, I can just run around in circles and not be noticed. Is literally why I activated that just in case.
For no reason at all. When she gets too far ahead, I return to sight unseen, and then start all over again.
We lost Sway. He froze. This broke him.
He did.
Yes, because escort missions.
Oh, there we
are
go.
broken. Oh, there you're back.
Yep.
You're
muted. So I'm back. Okay.
Okay.
My internet connection is unstable. Yeah, let's notice that.
Friend. We're all his internet connection.
You know that if she continues in this direction, she is either going to the bar, or she is going to the clubhouse.
She's gonna.
Do you want to pace, or do you want to meet her wherever
she wants to meet? She has a feel. So she wanted to go and make sure that she wasn't about to. She heard the noise. She understands conceptually what that means, even if she hasn't seen it happen yet. So she wants to make sure that she's not about to hulk out in the middle of the street and she has to take her down and stop her from same page as Victor a little, just she's a little more subtle about it. She is going to but the moment she realizes the direction of town she's heading in, it's if they are targeting our locations, wherever she's going may not be safe. I'm going to fucking make sure it's safe. So she is going to outpace and beat her to the bar to check.
Okay. I will say that's pretty easy to put together based off the fact that she came from the clubhouse.
And she's zombie walking.
Do me
zombie walking.
Roll me a. Do you have any dice rollers open, or you have your dice on you?
I have my dice, and I can count. I can take a picture if need be.
Okay, no, that's fine. I trust you. D4 odds are clubhouse.
Are you kidding me? All right.
D4 odds are clubhouse, and evens are bar. Because you don't know where she's going to go to. You don't know if she's going to go towards what you believe is her safe haven, the bar, or if she's going to try to go back and investigate what was going on with her sire at the clubhouse.
Of course, I can't find it.
So if you're not going to pace, I need you to go ahead and roll because you're not going to be able to keep track of her.
Oh my god, please. Yes! Good! Bar! We're good!
You going? Okay, you going to the bar?
Yes.
Okay. So, Siren zooms off to the bar.
And Jem changes her mind and goes to the clubhouse. Please don't.
Well, that's the thing is like she's riding the wave. She gets to control what the beast does, but it's very much like there's not a lot of high functioning thought going on. So Jace, you are left inside of Ancient Sight as Iris and Vegas stare at each other.
He pulls out his phone and texts Siren. Let me know where you are when you're there. Don't let anyone do anything stupid, parentheses, including you, period, send. And then he looks to Iris and Vegas.
And they slowly look at you. and they walk almost predatorily in fashion to you. And Iris sits down, and Vegas sits down with his crusty arm.
Is the door still open?
The door is 100% still open.
Mm.
And Iris props her feet on the table and sips from another teacup that you've laid out. And that is where we're going to take our first short break, as Victor and Lucy go one way and Siren and Jem go the other. And Jace says, "It is tea time, motherfuckers. I ain't doing shit. Y'all run around using your damn vampire powers. I'm going to sit here and figure some shit out."
Well,
I've never been prouder of Jace. Voodoo, if you're here, Jace was the only one who didn't
No
press the button.
buttons!
It's
No buttons!
Adele fixed him. He's the only one.
No. It's the buttons have not presented themselves
You're waiting for
yet.
the big button.
But the buttons
Yeah.
have just presented themselves, seated in front of me with their feet propped up. With
Oh my god! We're gonna go to break and sort out Matthew. We may write him out of the show right now.
All right, guys. We'll see you in about 10 minutes. Come back. It'll be the top of the hour. Oh, and welcome back, everyone. And thank you for that raid. You are amazing. I appreciate the hell out of that. So, Ravnos, you are amazing. I appreciate that. So, last we left off, right before we went to break, the party was split in 3 ways, as things happen. And Victor and Iris went one way. Jem and Siren went another. Jem the Beast and Siren the Prowler went another. And Jace is sitting there having his little cuppa. So we're actually going to kick off with you, Jace. Is there anything that you would like to say to Iris or Vegas, or are you just going to chill the fuck out?
So first, there was a descriptor that was used about how they were walking.
I just wanted to mess with you. I just wanted to mess with you.
Okay, good.
When you see that the energy, the hype that they were under,
Yep.
kind of fade away once they sit down.
Okay,
Knowing that there's no way that Vegas can realistically go do with his arm the way it is without potentially going, how is that a thing?
Sure.
And then Iris realizing that she's better served in other ways.
Girl, me too. He'll take a second to let them kind of like both chill. And then we all had Victor's number, right? It wasn't just that Siren had it, like we all had it. Okay, then he will also text Victor. Dearest Victor, when you have arrived at your destination at your earliest convenience, please alert me so that I may keep up with the safety of you and your companion. Forever yours, Jace. But just because it became a meme about Victor's texting. But then he'll give them a second to kind of chill and see if either of them is going to start the conversation, and if they don't, he will. But he wants to leave it open to them.
You see Vegas sitting there staring at the door. Just staring, and Iris just looking down at her tea.
Then Jace will get up and close the door. Say, don't worry, I'll close the door. We'll go close the door and then come back and sit down. So now that things have calmed down a bit, was what happened to your, I'm just gonna be frank. Was what happened to your arm actually just the explosion, or was there somebody or something else involved?
At least you waited until everybody was gone to start prying into my own personal fucking shit.
Well, I mean, to be fair, at this point, it isn't just your personal shit since everybody's involved. But I get what you mean.
Hey, Iris, I'm probably gonna kill your kid tonight. And she just takes a drink from her cup. Try not to. So, since it's not just my personal shit anymore of what happened to my own club and my own arm, yeah, the building blew up. And I did get out.
Okay.
And I regained control after the first person.
Okay.
Then I saw what condition I was in and I needed a second person.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything. So apparently I'm going to need more than just a light little buffet to get, and you see him kind of like shrug his shoulder to back where I need to be at.
Can I see it real quick? Do you mind if I?
It's still out. Like he didn't put his jacket back on from earlier. It was really weird. Like if you were thinking about it while he was trying to like.
No, absolutely. But the only reason why I asked that is because Matthew knows mechanically that I rolled earlier and learned that there is a possibility that it was somebody that did this, but that there was more to it. But now that things have like calmed down and that it is available to like maybe investigate a little bit more, Jace will say, do you mind if I look at it really quick to try and take a more in-depth look at it to see if, because he is like, Vegas has clearly said, I went beast mode. And so I went full X Games mode. And so like both Jace and Matthew realized that like, even though, yes, this might have just been the fire, there is a possibility that somebody did something to him while he was beast mode that he does not remember. Okay. And so I think Jace is wanting to try and figure out if there are more La Sombra, since those are the only people that he knows of that have that power. Since that's all he's interacted with, he wants to figure out if this is a La Sombra attack because Jace is starting to think that it isn't the Second Inquisition, or if it was just an explosion happened, therefore burned arm. You know?
Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to pull up your sheet here. My computer is acting lovely tonight, by the way.
Ooh, fun.
Why would I want the Mortals page?
Mortals.
Yeah.
We made them out of clay. Mortals.
Do me a favor.
Mortals we shall play.
Roll me a intelligence medicine check.
Intelligence medicine. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Got it. Cool. Get rid of those. Oh, not terrible. 4 successes. 4 out of 4.
So for 4 successes, what you realize is that the burns, like there are definitely burns that have seeped its way. It doesn't look like it's in his like veins.
Sure.
It's not in his skin. It's not viral in a way. It looks burned.
Okay, perfect.
And that you realize with 4 successes that if he wasn't kindred, that arm would probably just be gone.
Okay, cool.
And he definitely would not be walking around.
Yeah. Then I think that like Jace will, even just like seeing that a little bit more close up, there's something, obviously there's something more going on, and with some recent discoveries of who's in town, I thought that this might be more than just the Inquisition, like I originally assumed. But
Iris kind of scoots a little closer to you and says, "You think it was?"
I thought it might have been at first, because that's something, and he'll just kind of like chin point at the arm. That's something that they could have done. But I don't think that it was the Lasombra that we know about, at least, that was the leak about the Prince's Haven, because they were too on edge the entire time. It wouldn't have been them, but
They were also staked while things exploded.
Well, and that was the funny thing.
oh, true. I forgot that the explosion happened while they were staked. I thought that it
there-
happened afterwards.
There were no stakes.
Oh, in the forest, they weren't
Mm-mm.
staked.
There were no stakes in the clubhouse. They were just
Oh,
body-shaped
yes.
piles of ash.
Yes. Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Oh, that. Okay.
So I
Sorry,
was with
I
you,
remember
Cody.
pulling a stake.
You
I
did.
was
You
with
pulled-
you, Cody.
That was a very glorious steak as well.
I
Like,
was
yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure that I ate somebody while they were staked. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have been
You
able to,
did.
because I got weak noodle arms. But if things are not adding up, and I think that there's more to it than just the Second Inquisition has figured something out and they decided to strike while the anvil was hot or whatever nonsense. So, and he'll look to Vegas. So I apologize for being intrusive about your personal affairs.
Well, what do you think it is then?
I thought it might have been either some outside clans deciding that New Orleans was theirs, or perhaps now realizing that there wasn't somebody else involved in your arm other than the fire and the explosion, that it might have been. It had to have been somebody who knew that everybody was staying at the clubhouse. I don't think it was just Second Inquisition. I think this is some sort of inside job.
And Iris, she kind of nods her head and goes, so someone that was took advantage of the situation of having everyone there for once.
I would assume so. Because how else would they have known that is the specific Elysium to target? You know, the Toreador have Elysium. There are plenty of places that people could have been last night, but for them to have all gathered in the same exact place, and for everybody except for a few to have been, I guess, staked, especially because he doesn't. How much was described of the scene?
I think what we heard
they're
was
all dead.
they're all
They're
gone.
dead?
Like that. They're
Yeah,
everybody's
just
dead,
that-
Dave.
okay, yeah.
Everybody's dead,
Um,
Dave.
They're dead.
Yeah, so like
Everyone.
we obviously don't know that there are not stakes, at least not yet. But for everybody except for 5 of them to have died, something had to have happened, and there had to have been some sort of knowledge that everybody would be gathered there. It can't just be happenstance.
And she stands up, takes the last little swig of her tea, and says, fucking Malkavians. And she walks up the stairs. And speaking of fucking Malkavians, Jem, you make it back to you're unaware. What?
That I was checking it first. So if there was stuff that needed to be done.
I think she was raising her hands because she's about to be fucking a Malkavian.
Oh,
No.
fair.
No.
Did I not? Oh, I thought.
No, I said.
I apologize.
I was reminding that I went ahead first in case there was shit that needed to happen. That was it.
Okay. So, Jem, as you come to more aware of your situation, you're in the bar, you're in your office, and Pixie is sitting across, or sorry, Siren is sitting across from you. She's staring at you, giving you your space. Now, Siren, you've realized that everything is fine. And you waited to see if which location, and just about the time that you're thinking maybe she went to the clubhouse, you see her. And you follow her inside. Joe clears out the bar, seeing a very Joey.
Yes.
Joe.
I was like,
Okay, sorry.
"What the fuck is oh, right.
Whiskey Lou clears out the
Yeah.
bar.
Good job, Ghost. Good job.
So Joey clears out the bar. You hear the fire alarm go off. People start running out. And Siren, Joey says, I'll take care of her. And you follow her back. You follow Jem back as she goes into her office.
Good Joey. Lock every door. Double check.
Got it.
No one comes in.
Oh, no one?
No one.
Got it. She runs and she takes care of stuff.
And she'll sit and I'm assuming that happened sort of while she was still in the fuzzy place. But
Yep.
she will make sure to not speak until Jem is ready to speak, but she is there.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Followed you.
Why?
Because I was worried.
Oh,
Because when
Go.
you lose somebody important and your face looks like yours did, sometimes it's nice not to be alone.
go back to Vegas.
He's fine. He's with Iris.
So am I. I'm fine too.
You're not.
Tell me you're sorry.
For what?
Tell me you're sorry that my sire died. Tell me that you're sorry that I'm in pain.
I am infuriated that you are in pain.
I don't need you to be infuriated.
I know, but that's what sorry does to me.
That's messed up.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry I wasn't there last night. I'm sorry I wasn't there when you found him. Or yesterday, I'm sorry I wasn't there when you found him tonight.
If you were there, you would have been dead too.
You're not.
I was locked up.
Who's to say we wouldn't be?
There are only 3 rooms and I don't bunk.
Well, I can either apologize that it happened when there was nothing I could do about it, or apologize that I wasn't there to help, or I can be this.
I don't need you to apologize that you didn't do anything. If you're worried about me and if you want to, I don't know, be a friend or whatever the fuck this little gesture is. Remember what it was like when you were human.
This is what it was
And
like when I was human.
Well, then get out. Everyone back in that stupid place is just on the rampage and playing Hardy Boys. Wants to figure out who did it. Not one fucking person asked us if we were okay or said that they were sorry that he's dead. I hope, genuinely, you never feel this. I can't fight I can't fix it. I can't see anything.
Okay. But can I hug you?
No.
Then I'm sorry he's dead. And I'm sorry you feel this way. And I'm sorry that we can't fix it. And I'm sorry that all I know how to do is this. And that may not be good enough for your definition of friendship. But it's what I have. Be careful. Lock the doors behind yourself tonight. I don't know how much you remember from back there, if you were in a trance place, but I don't want you getting trapped like he was. And I don't want you getting blindsided. And if they know who people are, they probably know we're here. So just know where your exits are. And she'll leave.
Wait,
Stop.
only use landlines for a little while. If you need me, just call the office. From Iris's, Addison wasn't Addison.
And Vegas wasn't Vegas.
Then this has happened for a while. And I don't...
Yeah.
Maybe ask Victor if he has like a Pony Express.
I'm sure there's a telegram office somewhere in town that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Might want to invest in learning some Morse code, although I'm sure whoever it is knows it as well. But in the meantime,
Go take care of him, Siren.
I don't need to take care of him.
But you want to.
He won't let me. You won't let me either, but I have a slightly more equal footing here.
Why?
Because we're the same age.
No, we're not.
Huh. For this, we are. And because I don't know how to ask him who took his phone, who is pretending to be him. I don't know how to tell him that someone's using him to get to me. And someone might be using our sires to get to us.
It's presumptuous that it's to get to you.
I didn't mean me specifically as an individual. I'm not that fucking arrogant. But whatever happened, there's the possibility that after he sent me to the clubhouse, someone followed me there. Think about that? I don't know how to tell him that I might have fucked up and gotten us in trouble by caring. How am I supposed to go back and have that conversation? Don't answer. I don't actually want to know right now. What I want to do is be in a place where I feel like I can help. And I can at least watch the door here and have your back for a while. Please.
Can you watch Lucy? She's not okay.
I know. But I'm pretty sure Victor was going to take care of that. He'll be able to keep up with her better than I will.
So you like Victor now? When did that happen?
I don't, but I've seen what he can do when he wants to. He hurled me over like 4 city blocks earlier, so no problem. Yeah, he'll take care of it. She'll be fine.
You think that's supposed to make me feel better?
Yeah, it means if he's trying to protect her, no one's gonna
He'll
get near her.
hurl her over 4
No,
city blocks?
he'll hurl them over 4 city blocks. But I survived the night staying at his place, and I didn't wake up dead. And, he has the skills to keep someone safe if he wants to. So, yeah. I don't like him, but I trust what he's about.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry you need someone right now.
I don't. I need somebody to need me. I'll be outside.
And I don't want you to be outside. I just want you to leave. My God.
Understood. She will leave the bar. And
That was less of an actual.
I feel like she heard it anyway. She will leave the bar, and she will go sit on the roof of the bar across the street and just watch.
Okay.
Jim's gonna get whiskey and pour some in her office and put it in the seat that Siren was in. And she's just gonna start talking to Whiskey Lou.
Okay. The glass remains.
Yeah. God, if it didn't though. Demon? Demon! Throw me out of your bar. You're gonna have to kill me. Okay.
So Victor, you follow, and she starts taking back alleys. And that's your first real clue that there is still awareness there, and she's not full, giving herself over to the beast. That either the beast is stealthing as much as possible, or there's a methodology there that is akin to intelligence. And she just speed runs as fast as she's able to. And it's an endurance for you to keep up with her, though you at certain points realize that you could outpace her if needed be. But you follow. And you follow. And quickly you realize that if it continues, that she's going to leave the city. Do you continue to follow her outside of the city?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have committed to this action, and let's go. I will say, as we start to leave the city, Victor is he is going into old timey soldier slang, cursing just to himself, just bouncing Betty May, young gum flapping foot. Just I can't make. I don't know what they are, but things along those lines.
She heads north. She keeps heading north and northeast. How much research did Victor put into this city beforehand? Like, I know he's politically aware, but is he geographically aware of the layout of kind of like who owns what?
Outside of the kindred, he would know he would need to know broad domains.
Okay.
To avoid, because roadhouses roadhouses and biker bars pop up kind of everywhere.
Well, that answers my question then.
Yeah.
You realize that if you continue on this track, that you're going to leave the main city and go to the wildlife refuge,
which is
gangrel territory.
All right, I have questions for the gangrel anyway. Let's go.
And then, so you guys do, and you continue, and it's going to take you a little bit to get there, but you put the thought process of, okay, if we just keep going this way, it's got to be the gangrel that we're headed to. And you guys continue to run, and roll me a wits awareness.
Okay.
As you guys are traveling, well, as you're tracking.
Yes, it is cool. All right, there's the hunger dice and the awareness. Okay. I think I have a specialty for tracking kindred or awareness kindred. Do you want me to roll that or no?
Yeah. Well, do you have that, or do you have anything for wildlife?
I don't have anything specifically for wildlife. No.
Okay.
Not for my awareness. So I'm good without it.
Well, no. Now that you've established that you're going towards the gangrel and you are kind of aware of some of the things the gangrel can do, go ahead and use that as part of your.
Okay. All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Okay.
Nothing critical, nothing messy, nothing. critical fail.
Okay. As you're running fast, you see little bits of wildlife picking up more. Specifically, a lot more avian wildlife, and you get, while you're running and you're keeping that awareness going, there's a lot more crows that are actually more vocal than they would be at this time of night.
Okay.
And once you hear it, you hear the first one, you're like, oh, crow, and you just keep going, and then you hear another one, you're like, oh, there's another crow, and then you hear it continuously as you're running. And it could be the gangrel. It could just be a lot of crows, but it's something that does pique your awareness of interesting. Something you usually don't hear even in the bayou.
Yeah. Okay. Keep my eyes peeled on that.
Jace, is there anything that you would like to do, say, or are you just going to chill in the ancient site?
Iris went upstairs.
She did.
Oh, girl, I'm following her upstairs because she said fucking Malkavian, so she clearly has an idea, at least. So, he'll gently put down his tea, and then follow her upstairs. And theoretically, once they're out of earshot, which is not really applicable to Kindred. Wait, do you have an idea about something?
Well, as you start to make your way upstairs, like, do you follow like right after her? Or do you...
Pretty immediately.
Okay. Well, the question was, why would he do this? Why would he put him in this position? Why would he put himself in this position of inviting everyone here? And he's too fucking smart for that. And she opens the door to the woods.
I'm not going to step in unless she like actively invites me in.
She does leave the door open as she walks in.
Okay, then after like a couple of seconds and realizing there's not going to be like an express invitation, like okay.
And for those viewers who aren't aware, she has a bigger on the inside hoodoo priestess woodland area. She's got like a pocket dimension in her, like her second guest bedroom.
We love her.
She actually goes over to the Baron's altar, and she picks something up from there, and it's a smaller whiskey bottle. And she goes over to one of the other altars that you don't know who it is, an altar to. She takes something else, and she goes to the third altar. She takes something else, and she goes back to the two, where when you were here before, there were two slabs.
Yep.
One had Alex on it. One had the friend that you dialorized because you got hungry. We're like, hey, I'm never going to leave.
Well,
when you go in there now, there's just a working altar. It looks similar to one of the stone slabs.
Sure.
But it's different, and there are certain things laid out. And she takes one of her books out of her satchel, and she starts going to work. And she looks to you. I think it was a trap. And I don't think it was for him.
Oh.
There's a reason why the two male Malkavians don't get along.
Oh. Okay.
And she pulls out multiple books from one of the other altars. She brings them over, and you see the clan crests on each book. And she pulls out the cracked mirror. And this is an old book. And she opens it up and she flips to a page, and you see one person and another person, and then a web connecting them.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes, look here. And she flips the page, and you see what looks like thousands of people and little tiny lines connecting all of them.
Sure.
She goes, this is what some call the Madness Network or the Malkavian Network. Not a lot of people know about it. All of them are connected. Some can access this like you would pull out your cell phone.
Oh.
Some can only access this in pure emotional pain. Some only physical pain. Some can never access this. Some can only look at it or be a part of it when someone reaches out to them. And some people, and she flips to like nearly the end of the book, and there's a hand-drawn sketch of Hancock.
Mm-hmm.
Some can pull it open like their cell phone and look inside everyone else.
Ah. Well, that would explain some things. Okay.
You know it's Hancock because it's a stick figure with someone just going.
You can see the cargo shorts.
With the cell phone holster. The cell phone holster is still, that's why he wears
Yeah.
it. It's because symbolism of
Status.
Yeah. Okay, so hold on. So do you think that he was the one that said it, or do you think it was set for him?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But there's no way that you stick those two in a room. The prince, he's very sensitive, but from what he's told me, he can't reach out like Hancock does. He can't get a sense of what everyone is thinking and doing.
Okay.
You walk up, you punch Hancock in the face, he's just going to take it on the chin because he saw it coming, but there's nothing he can do about it. He can't fight. That much I know.
Okay.
But he's always 2 steps ahead.
Okay.
And she flips over to the Ventru book and she pulls it up and slams it. Do you know why the prince was here?
What do I
In New
know?
Orleans.
No.
He saved somebody's life, and she flips, and it's a man you've never seen before, and there's handwritings, and this was the Prince of New York City. And she flips one more page.
Okay.
This was his consort. And she flips one more page, and this was their ghoul, and it's Camille's face.
Oh. Okay.
No wonder Addison and I love each other.
Okay. 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 Interesting. So then he stopped something from happening and then was gifted Undeath and New Orleans as a whole because Ventru?
The only thing that I know for sure is this, and she points to the 3 pages.
Uh-huh.
And now we have a prince who is Malkavian in our city. What we were all told was this was a gift of new creation of New Orleans and a boon for a Malkavian who had proved his worth to the Ventru by saving a life, dear and close to one of the most powerful kindred in the world, left after, and she points down the stairs, the fall of London.
Why isn't he Ventru?
I don't know.
Okay.
But the only way that he would have known that it was happening as a ghoul was if he was a part of the organization or he was a Malkavian and had a vision.
Is the consort, what do you know about them?
And she actually like she flips the book over to where it's just her page, and she starts going down Toreador 11th generation, and it's like a Ventrue Toreador, and then somehow there's a Malkavian in the mix.
Okay. 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 Well. Okay. So it's probably set up by Hancock or for Hancock, but Hancock, even if it was set up for him, would have known that it was a thing, so he would have just avoided it, but didn't stop it because he can't. Okay. Hmm.
She
But
goes,
how did whoever it is manage to actually kill 30 kindred, several of which were Primogen? Like that just seems wildly improbable, right? Like I'm not just like hyping up Primogen because I'm new and don't know anything. Like that seems wildly impossible.
the biggest concern with killing a kindred is them fighting back.
Yeah.
How'd that Diabler go for you?
I mean,
Super easy,
fair,
wasn't it?
fair.
Barely an inconvenience.
I said it.
Barely
I was
any-
muted. Fuck.
Okay, so somebody managed. Well, I guess if you don't have the right shit prepared, then it wouldn't be hard to just walk in and stake you while you slept. Okay. God, is he really that much of an idiot that he doesn't fucking fresh wakeness whenever there's a goddamn explosion on the other side of the city? God, what a fucking idiot. Okay.
And she looks and she smiles
Who are we
at
calling
you.
An idiot?
The
Tremere.
the Tremere Primogen,
Okay.
who has who should have the
Should have to.
capability to be able to just wake up if there's danger, and there's
'Cause Jace
explicitly
did it.
danger.
Like Jace
across
had
the
that
city.
active. Yeah.
Jace had that active from literally day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was
Smart.
kindred and suddenly was taught the ability to wake up if there was danger. So the Primogen of the fucking Tremere should have that too. And that's who he's calling an idiot.
And she looks to you and she goes, "It's funny, the precautions you don't take when you believe that you are untouchable. And the honor that you will stupidly fucking stick by. Because you made an agreement not to use certain little spells. He could have done it.
Oh,
Any of the Tremere could have done it. And they at least would have been woke.
but Elysium.
But Elysium.
Do we know who's coming up next? Now that he's gone, by the way.
There's going to be a battle. The Camarilla of New York City and
Oh no, I didn't mean the prince. I meant our Primogen.
Oh, okay. Well, I
don't know if Jace knows of any other big players of the Tremere clan.
Not really. It just you just seen faces like you. So Jem hasn't been able to see most of her clan because Hancock's a dick, and there's like 4.
Yeah.
You know, Siren hasn't been around her clan because they're all assholes.
Sure.
And with you, there's a little extra little branch.
I mean, yes.
So she looks at you and she goes, "I know it won't be one of us."
All right, fair enough.
And judging by the way that happened, I'm pretty sure I don't want to be that fucking stupid.
No. Okay. Okay. That was a tangent, unrelated.
You're fine.
Okay. Well, I mean, at least there's something to go off of now. Jem knows where Siren knows where Jem is, so that's fine. Kindred, what the fuck? I cannot words. Victor
words.
is dealing with Lucy probably. I feel like this is a problem that we need to address fairly quickly before we run out of Elysiums to hide in. Yeah?
There's not many in the city. We all have our own little individual spots to go to. My thing is this, and she starts going back to work. And she pulls out some of the whiskey and she takes a drink of it and she spits it on her work area.
Mhm.
And she goes and she takes out Camilla's page
Mm-hmm.
and she places it down. And she goes through some of the other books, and you see that she's ripping out pages of the Primogen. And then she goes and she takes one of the larger, like wooden, like almost hand-shaped wooden bowls. She bites her wrist, kind of flings her wrist across the pages, pours what's left of the whiskey inside of the bowl, takes the pages and crumples them up, and makes sure that she washes her wrist with it, each one. She tosses it in these bowls. And she goes, Jace, turn and face the door.
Okay.
And she actually, you hear a tch
Oh.
of what can only be a match.
Ah. Yep.
And tosses it into the wooden bowl.
Mm-hmm.
There's fire behind you. You turn around if you feel like you need to. Otherwise, face the door.
Oh, he's so tempted.
Don't.
Oh,
You
he's so
can.
tempted.
You can. It's
Since I'm warned about it.
Not
Since
that
I'm
button,
warned
Jace.
about it.
It won't. I will tell you this: it doesn't matter if you're warned about it, unless there's a specific skill that you have to not roll a willpower check. You will roll a willpower check.
Now is not the time, so I will wait. But it's killing him to wait. But he will wait. He will wait until the fire is out to turn around.
I can never pronounce the word that is the fire check, but you will make a fire check. It's like Rosh check, something like that.
Rouse?
No, it's specifically for fire and fear. It'll like it immediately turns you into the beast where you get away.
Oh, yes. I was just
I don't-
looking at beast.
I don't remember.
So you stay turned around.
I stay turned away.
Okay.
Yeah. I continue to be a little bitch and stay turned away.
So you hear her working, and you hear bottles clink together. You hear some bones clink together. You hear scratching that is either like carving or drawing or something.
Mm.
And then you hear her go, I think she's right. And she bends down. Well, you don't know this. And she says, you can turn around now.
Immediately.
And you see her, she's rubbing dirt on her hands after having now filled up the bowl of dirt.
Uh-huh.
The bowl with dirt.
Yeah.
Don't tell Vegas.
Duh.
He's a good guy. He's just a little bit out of it right now.
Sure.
I think Lucy was right. It's the only reason she would run out like that away from Jem is if she knew something about where Hancock was, or if the prince was still, for the lack of a better word, alive.
Okay.
And Victor, we're going to flash over to you. Now you have followed Lucy as far as you can without entering into the domain of the gangrel. Now she does 0 fucks and she keeps going. You're going to
Let's
go.
go.
Okay. You
I have not built my reputation.
I
on
just
giving
make
fucks.
sure.
I appreciate. Thank you for the option. Thank you for the offer. And good looking out. But you're right. This is where Victor draws the line. This is where he's going to learn.
Fuck the gangrels. I will not. Nope. And so I am not going to hurt their feelings.
The gangrels and the Bruja, he's like, nah, I respect them.
Yeah, they're good people.
Can go fuck themselves. But them, they're good people.
Oh.
So you very quickly see her like yeet herself over like this chain link fence. And you go over just seconds behind, and she actually turns around a couple times through all this, and she sees you, and she's okay with it. Like she's not turning around and having a conversation with you or whatever.
I mean, that's good for her because whether she's okay with it or not,
it's happening, bitch.
So.
And so as you guys run, you quickly see to like the left and right of you, you're being paced with other kindred,
Mhm.
and she does not stop. You do not stop, and the other kindred do not stop you or try to stop you.
Good.
And you guys continue to run, and very quickly you arrive at the main kind of research area for the refuge. There's a little gift shop, kind of like, it looks like it's hey, come see what we like, field trip kind of area,
Sure.
right? And there's a kindred out front, and Lucy stops about 20 feet, and she puts her she adjusts her headphones and puts her arms behind her back, and she goes, "Where is he? Is there anything you do while this conversation begins, or are you just trying to catch up with her?"
How far behind am I?
That's kind of up to you. Like, I was assuming you were probably about 30 feet behind her running. Like, you could be further away from that without losing. You couldn't have been
No,
more than
that's-
30, 50 feet away from her without losing track.
No, that's fine. 30. Yeah, I'm.
So,
I'm
I
fine
mean,
with that.
everybody knows you're also there unless
Yeah.
you would like to have snuck
Yeah.
off. Okay.
No, I'm fine. I'm gonna yeah, I'll come to a stop maybe 15 feet
Yeah.
behind her. The person on the other side, do I recognize them? The person she is talking to.
You don't. It's
Great.
obviously kindred, assuming Green Girl, but there's no, like, you don't know who this would be.
Okay.
You know it's not one of the you know it's not the Gangrel Primogen.
Okay, great. So I didn't meet them last night. That was the question.
You saw them, but you didn't have a conversation with them.
That's fine. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know it's not them because you did briefly see it's not Ramon.
Right. Or QT, QK, quick
RQ, yeah.
RQ. All right. Yeah, she'll ask, and Victor's not gonna, where's who? No, like, it's like, all right. Yeah, man. He's gonna act like he knew why he was coming here and is demanding to know the same. Victor is nothing if not somebody who will yes and his way in.
Oh yeah.
Or out of trouble.
As one should.
Yeah.
And
good question. He won't.
yeah, tell me. And so you see the one come out like, I don't know who the fuck are you talking about? And Lucy just doesn't even respond.
Victor's gonna look at him
and he looks back at you. And he looks at Lucy. I don't. He's not here. And you start to hear like splashes from the nearby Bayou swampy area. This all the refuge is just swampland and marshland.
Okay.
Now, are you roll me a wits awareness, because she's not. She's zero. She's
Yes.
very focused.
I will be the responsible one at the moment. That feels uncomfortable for everybody, I know, but let's give it a shot, shall we? With the kindred specialty or no?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So there we go. Doing this right. That it one too many. Yeah, there we go. Great. Two successes.
Okay.
Nothing else weird.
You try not to take your attention away from the matter at hand. You do catch the sounds of splashing around you. Not loud like splish splash, but like you hear water sounds. But you do see behind this man speaking to Lucy multiple crows, ravens. There's not really ravens in North America, but large crows start to land on the building. There's one modeled one that seems to be, while not bigger than some of the other ones, definitely in the front. You get the vague impression that yes, these are probably some of the gangrel.
Yeah. I will enact all and step up next to her.
And so, in what way do you activate awe? Because there's awe? No, sorry, there's awe and there's.
So it's not the terror one. I don't
Yeah,
I
was
don't
gonna
have
say,
the strike fear, but not in like the hey sex
yeah,
adventure time.
that's
but
all I
in,
need to know. I just need to know
yeah,
if you were trying
but
to
it-
intimidate or if you were
but
trying
in
to like,
the
hey,
everybody
this is-
look at me. That's what I'm
you do. You
going
start
for
to
here.
notice. You start to see heads turn towards you, and the one that's speaking to Lucy,
Yeah.
kind of turns to you, like turns his head
And-
to you, and looks back at Lucy, and just kind of like.
And I'm gonna step up sort of next to Lucy, maybe a shoulder in front, and try to look at her and be like, "Oh, give me a second here." And sorry, trying to see if there's anything I need to roll, but I guess I could. We'll figure that out in a moment. Listen, clearly in your domain, respect that. If the prince is here, you have to understand two things. Actually, three. One, the last thing he said to me was to protect him. And I intend to do that. So either he's here because he wants to be, in which case he can tell me to go home, or he's here because he doesn't, in which case I will be taking him home. Now, I don't know if you all know who I am. I don't know if you know what I do. But if this means anything, and I show them the magic emblem on my palm,
Yes.
then you understand that you might be able to gang up on me. You might be able to stake me, feed me, give me the true death. But you do also know I will take many more of you with me in that process. So if you're willing to be the first up in that line, we can do this. If not, just tell me where the fuck he is so I can get on with my night. Because for 4 nights now, people have played dumb and wasted my time. And I am not pleased.
Roll me with an additional die because of your awe. I think awe gives you. Is it 1 or 2 for you that it gives you for charisma based?
It's equal to the presence, so
Okay.
1. So for me, it's 1.
So go ahead and roll.
Charisma, intimidation.
Yeah, I was almost going to give you something else besides charisma based off your history.
I mean, manipulation or composure. I don't know. I don't think any of the intelligence stats, or if you want me to like just flex, like I'll just.
It's definitely more. To me, it's more social.
Yeah, I agree.
Roll charisma, persuasion.
Charisma, persuasion. Okay.
Or sorry, charisma, intimidation. Sorry.
Charisma, intimidation. Well, good. That is my better adventure here. Okay, so 2 for charisma, 2 for intimidation. Not doing a stick up. 1 for awe, and 3 of those are hunger dice. Got it. Let's go. 4 successes, 1 failure, 1 crit, 1 natural 1
Okay.
on a hunger die.
So you hear he just stares like very cowed, but not.
And I want to be clear. I'm not just speaking to him. Like I'm speaking to literally, like
and that's when you
court of
realize
Caesar.
the crows start to chitter and chatter, and one really loud like squawk essentially for the lack of a better word, because I can't do Raven voices.
Sure.
And everyone all at once starts to scatter, aside from one at the top, the mottled large raven.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy does not react. Lucy sits there and stares at the crow, at the raven. Do you react at all to them running around? Because they're running in all opposite directions, but you get the impression they're running.
I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna give them a second here. We're gonna see what they settle on, and if not, I'm gonna start walking forward. But not yet. I am giving them the time.
You realize that they're leaving the area.
Yeah, great. Then I'm hanging out.
And the crow comes down, and the guy that Lucy was speaking to, he's gone. He takes off and bolts.
Okay. So yeah, if everybody's out of the way and it's just the big crow, I'll slowly start walking. But if they come down, I'll stop
and
let them.
You see the crow in a very painful anamorph style, cracking, snap popping, turn into a the primogen that you did see before.
Great. Yeah, he gets a little that never sounds good. That's just
And she cracks her neck, and she's completely nude. She cracks her neck. She goes, "We need to talk inside, but you have to know we did nothing malicious."
All right, let's talk inside. And he's gonna look at Lucy and be like, "Bitch, be cool."
Lucy's very like, I'm not gonna do anything, but I'm not happy. And you see her take her hand from her back, and she kind of like resets what you can tell now is like the gun.
Yeah, I mean, I was standing behind her when I walked up.
She too is gonna take down many crows with her. Okay,
oh yeah,
she was also prepared. You're gonna get me,
got like that.
You.
She's got like that little the belt all around the dress, and it's like, what is that? Like, why is there a pocket? Why would you have a pocket? It's a gun pocket. That's exactly what it's there for.
Yeah.
And so she follows RQ inside, and you follow behind her, or vice versa. Regardless, you guys all enter in, and it's like a very business like situation area.
Okay.
There's multiple there's like a seating area, and she goes and she actually like hikes up on top of the desk area, like the I can't, my brain farting right now. The reception desk area where like somebody would sit behind her, like, "Hello, why are you here?" And she sits on top of that again, butt ass naked, and goes, "Lucy, I think he's safe, but the primogen are not." And she goes, "What the fuck do you mean you think he's safe?" And she reaches and she pulls the gun out and she points it directly at RQ's face. She goes, "You'll just be another fucking dead primogen."
Just gonna grab that shit.
with your roles versus her earlier, like it gets taken out of her hand.
As she pulls it, just
she goes, "RQ, I don't care what the fuck he does. I will kill you. You will be the next dead primogen, and you can try that shit. There's only one fucking way that you survive that room. I don't know how the fucking Bruja did it, and I'm going to go see him fucking next. But I had a strange fucking feeling that he was here, and I came here, and you were like, we don't want to die. So yeah, sure, let me just talk to you about the prince. So what the fuck is going on?"
all very good questions.
RQ nods, and she goes, "You probably wouldn't have gotten the answers if he wasn't here. I don't want my clan to die tonight. Not for the fucking Camarilla. My loyalty was to the prince, not the fucking tower."
On board.
"We have someone in the city kidnapping Kindred. They started with the Bruja. Then they went to us. We're on the outskirts. No one cares about us. Hell, we just assume that they left, right? No. Every fucking primogen was like, no. Can't be. Your kind just left the city. Except for us. We knew they fucking didn't, because we're the ones that eat with them, that hunt with them, that run with them."
How many?
20? 30?
Okay.
This is a period of 6 months. We know this fucking shit is happening.
Okay. 30 out of Gangrel. or 30 total?
From what Ramon would tell me, 15 from his. We're looking at 5 that I don't know about, so 15, possibly 20 from our side. This period, the numbers, they don't fucking, and she starts to like lose her shit. They don't fucking make sense. We had people come in from the outside to join us because we had this huge fucking area. And yeah, we were safe. Until we'd wake up. There'd be a couple less. Once a week, twice a week.
Daytime hunts, daytime removals,
Daytime removals.
out of domains.
Not strictly domains. Not strictly inside the city.
But locations that were thought to be safe.
There's nowhere safe for us.
Understood.
It was
But-
not inside the refuge. It was
Okay.
not on the rail cars. It was not in any area that any primogen would give a fuck about. And when the prince sent his people out to go look, his hounds, they came back with fucking nothing.
Okay. I hear you. Keep going.
The only thing that I know, and you start to see like, thank you guys. Ravnos, you're awesome. Thank you for the raid. Welcome back. We're getting grumpy. The gangrel primogen. You start to see that she's also activating things that you have access to.
Mm-hmm.
Her mouth gets more animalistic, and the fangs, and you can tell this is just pure anger.
Yeah.
I got a fucking text message from the prince. It's the only fucking way that I think he's still walking around. But when I left, he had a fucking pile of ashes in his room. Now I sleep in the ground at night. 10 feet fucking under. There's no one that can touch me. And I teach every single one of my pups to do the same shit. We don't sleep with their fucking kind, and when we do, we sleep under the ground. Now answer me this. If I meld with the ground, who is the only primogen that's fucking left? Ramon. Now why in the fuck would he do that? How could he fucking do that?
I know the prince had suspicions of both you and Ramon.
As any
Yep.
fucking smart prince should.
Absolutely.
And you see the fangs start to retract and like the anger subside for a moment.
I also know that you're not the only person that has had kindred go missing. Something within the power structure. Some form of spy. My friend was sold out from underneath the blood bank. Sold, interrogated, tortured, and her associate diablerized.
And she looks at you very shocked.
Another met the true death inside Ventru Casino. Thought to be Second Inquisition, portrayed as Second Inquisition. But the rest of these attacks don't follow that MO. Now,
And you see her mutter the words blood bank.
did I say the wrong?
No.
Or use
It's
the ro- okay.
no.
Okay.
You didn't. It's a very the circulatory system
That's
is
yes.
very also kind of called like the blood bank.
Great. Okay,
She would have been able to put that together.
that's fine. Okay, good. That was me worried that
But you
said
know
the
that
wrong word.
while it is not something that is unheard of.
Yeah.
It's usually one, not sanctioned, and two, more rumor in most cities without direct proof.
Great. Well, I don't mind being proof today.
That's fine.
So, so all of this points to one of two things: either gross incompetence by a prince capable and given forewarning of seeing the future, or someone subverting from within.
Fucking
No.
Ramon.
I think I will be having a conversation with Mr. Ramon shortly. I would like to scrutinize everything she said up until now. An insight check as
Go ahead, roll an
best
insight
I
check.
can. Just to make sure I feel like she is on the level. So insight and
Insight awareness or composure insight.
composure, insight, or awareness. Oh, awareness. Oh, and I can use the kindred specialty on the awareness.
You can, yes.
Yay. Okay. That's good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So 1 critical fail, 2 regular fails, 4 successes, but 2 of them are bloody. 2 of them are criticals on the hunger dice.
You get you know 100% to your core that some things you said she was unaware of.
Great.
And that she did receive communication from who she believes is the prince. You
Okay.
believe that.
Okay.
That she has not lied to you in any way.
Great. On board. He I apologize. Does Victor know that the rest of the coterie has been attempting to text with Addison? I think so. Right?
I think they mentioned that briefly, yeah.
I know that's been like a few weeks now, so
Yeah.
I'm just trying. I'm trying to make sure.
I think
I'm
they've
on board.
mentioned off and on, like, hey, that wasn't him.
Yeah.
He's not texting like he usually does.
Okay.
We haven't heard him we haven't seen or heard him.
Because we
Right.
definitely like tried to text him when we found the body.
And called
Yeah.
him. Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
just nothing.
Hi, I'm Victor. The leaky tap. That was funny. I like it. Something's undermining all of Kindred Society here. And I'm not real big on the ivory tower, but I'll say in the past few hours, I've learned a few things about this prince that I like a little more.
And she looks at you and goes, he fought for what was right. I don't exactly trust how he got in power, but
People that hold Carthage ideals, in my mind, are at least decent.
she grins real wide at that. Glad we're on the same page.
I don't know him deeply. I don't know him well, and I've only spoken to him briefly. But the time that I've spent with him doesn't match up with the performance of behaviors. Seems far more capable than that.
With the right support, anyone is capable of anything. You take the supports out from underneath them, and you take the claws away, and the animal can't fight.
I agree. So, I don't know if it's specifically Primogen, but leaving both you and Ramon alive,
Looks like a fucking trap.
it looks like a very good reason to declare blood hunt on the 2 Anarch clans in New Orleans, whether you've sworn allegiance or not.
They can fucking try.
But yes,
It'd be a
And
lot
they-
easier to kill your kind than mine.
well, we'll save that pissing contest for another day.
She nods and smiles.
I don't think it's Ramon. From what I know about him, by reputation, honorable soldier, also not stupid.
He's
You
the only
don't-
one still survived.
You don't assassinate everybody else in the building and stick around to be found. If it was you, and you slept underground, you woke up, you crawled out, you staked, diablerized, burnt, assassinated the rest of the power structure in New Orleans. Do you feel confident that you could stick around and talk your way out?
And she looks down and she goes, no.
Listen, I know we love to talk. And he'll push the Anarch A Bruja symbol on him. That's stupid. That's a setup. That's a setup. I don't think that the Nosferatu have been giving the prince solid information. for a while now. The fact that the sheriff is a nos and wasn't present has me looking in their direction. But from what I've been told, the other Malkavian, what's his name?
Hancock. Piece of shit.
That's dirty. That's fucking
Creepy
filthy.
ass motherfucker.
Exactly.
She smiles. She goes, "Where would a good sheriff be at right now? If the prince was alive, where would a good sheriff be?" And she locks eyes with you.
Cody wants to stay at their side, but Cody isn't 100% if that's
Yeah,
the right answer. Okay, great. Great. Okay. I don't want to make Victor sound dumb because I'm like,
no. And she goes, "I think there was a very good reason why the sheriff wasn't there last night."
the Second Inquisition attack doesn't stop at just burning a building. They stick around to make sure everybody within it meets the true death.
And she hops down. She goes, "You know what's funny about that? We were all hunting while everybody else was having a good time, having their coffee and their tea and their fucking whatever else."
I don't know what this city's obsession with tea is. It's really fucking
Blame the
weird.
French.
Oh, okay. Well,
The issue, we saw no Second Inquisition. None. We went hunting. None. No church, no government, no shiny little objects that hurt our eyes. Nothing. Not a thing.
So, and Victor's going to pat his jacket. Like, I've seen some evidence, but doesn't mean that it's not a red herring. Misplanted.
You know what would solve all this? Just kill everyone.
Usually my MO. However, there's a potential to do something better.
I'm
People
not
with
sure if I'm the
ideals.
better kindred to do it, though.
You don't have to be. You just have to be the one not to burn it and salt the earth.
And she crosses her arms. "I'll make you a deal. You pick one. Ramon or Hancock? Who do you want to talk to? I'll go talk to the other one. We'll figure it out together."
Out of character.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to ask the rest of the players if they have any input.
Go for it.
Because I am split.
Table talk, go for it.
I feel like letting her talk to Hancock because he'll see it coming. It's probably safer. Because I feel like she'll kill Ramon on sight.
So what I will say is that as who has the more kindred at their disposal, by and far the most populous like kindred population in the city is Gangrel. Because when the flood came, they were already on the ground level of everything. Yeah. They could just go somewhere else and then come back when they wanted to. And that's what a lot of did is when New Orleans was devoid of the large kindred society, the Gangrel was like, "Fuck it, I'm taking it back over then. Anarch, Camarilla, I don't give a shit. This is my land. I'm coming back." And then it was the Tremere. And then it was the other organizations. The Brujah was actually one of the last ones to come to this because the majority of the Brujah had already left the Camarilla. Mm-hmm. But with it being such a weird water-locked state or city, mm-hmm. there was no way for the Brujah to have any knowledge or presence in the city without being in the city. Mm-hmm. And the only way to do that is to have a few people be loyal to the prince. Mm-hmm. So you know that if RQ just wanted to kill people and she's, you get the impression that she is angry, but she's also not stupid.
Yeah.
That she could literally just send dozens of kindred after whoever and see it coming, or even the Brujah with their weapons, like probably not going to be able to do shit. So you guys take that into consideration.
I will just ask her back before I make this decision. So we're just letting the sheriff off the hook?
I know where her hounds are. They're mine. There's no way that they wouldn't tell me. They're the ones that told me from apparently the sheriff. He would be in contact. Keep it quiet.
All right.
And then I received a text message from his number.
So I look at Lucy So if we were to find the sheriff, we would find the prince, in theory.
They have an odd arrangement. They're
And
very close.
And so this is me sort of trying to be like,
What?
see, Lucy, Victor got you some of the answers you were looking for. Wasn't just about my stuff. So,
And no one else in the coterie was there to see it. So, like, did
No.
nobody else see that? Fuck.
Nope. Completely out of the way.
The Bruja used charisma. It was super effective.
It
No,
was.
lies.
Yeah, it
Bullshit.
could.
Lucy, you had a
Um,
hard day. It's okay, sweetie.
There are a lot of pieces to this puzzle. I think it ends with Hancock, but I think I need to know what Ramon knows first. If you can give me the day, we can talk with Hancock tomorrow. Your people are safe, 10 feet underground. And if the rest of the kindred die on my whim, well, I'm a fucking Camarilla traitor, anarch outsider that is a pure agitator that came in and fucked everything up for you.
And she looks out the window. The night's still young.
I'll tell you what, if I get done early, we'll make an arrangement for a good old-fashioned bloodbath.
And she looks at Lucy. Lucy? I know that we haven't shared many conversations, but I have respected the way that you take care of the prince. How would you feel if I took care of Hancock? And she looks up. I don't fucking care.
Victor feels like that's a mixed metaphor, but he's just letting it go, man. He's like, all right, let's go. Whatever.
There's like, hey, you take care of the prince really good. I'm going to go kill this motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I know. He was like, my World War II sensibilities feel like you should keep your metaphor straight. I'm not in this postmodern nonsense just yet.
And Lucy goes, I don't care. Completely irrelevant to the prince. He can die.
Good.
I can't kill him because he'll fucking see me coming. He always fucking does. Just no ill intentions whatsoever. Planned it weeks. No ill intentions. Gonna go show up. Gonna just go see my lovely elder. And he's always there waiting with new music. No other way that he would know I was coming unless it was the fucking network. I don't know if he knows it's because I'm a part of the network. I can't fucking use it half the time. Get information, kill him later.
Yeah, network or not. It wouldn't be the first Malkavian I've killed.
And Lucy locks eyes with RQ, and RQ kind of looks back and forth and says, okay, at least I have someone's permission.
Is that what?
Information first.
Victor's gonna be like, permission? Is that really what you were waiting on? All right. Cool.
She
Not
just
gonna
needed a
question it.
reason.
That's fine. Yeah.
But she goes, okay, you go talk to Ramon. Sundown tomorrow, I'm going to go talk to Hancock.
I'll go with you.
Okay. We'll find you.
I know you will.
Anything else?
Yeah. Do you have a car?
No.
Oh, well, fuck. All right, let's run.
And she kind of like kneels down to like Lucy's level. If he's dead now, it's the sheriff. And Lucy kind of shakes her head. She goes, I don't think so either. But Grin is gone. And she looks and she goes, are you sure about that? And she turns and follows you out.
As we walk out, I don't suppose you have like a animal bag for the road, because if I keep running around, I'm gonna murder somebody.
What do you mean animal bag? Like, what are you asking for?
Oh, so I'm checking my blood potency. I can eat an animal and still
Yes.
still
Okay,
recover.
that makes sense.
I know it's not my preferred hunting method,
Yeah.
but nothing about New Orleans has been my preferred anything so
Yeah.
far. So I'm looking for a doggy bag or a like to go cup.
This is
Or-
your like
Literal
late night
doggy bag?
McDonald's run.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't feel
listen,
good about this.
I
and I feel
don't-
like shit
it's-
in the morning.
it's
Then
not
I
a
pee.
good breakfast. It's gonna go straight to the waist. But
You did pass on the way. There are waterfowl in the area, like
Great.
heron.
Great.
That'll take like for your age, like half a point. You would have to eat like 2.
that's fine. I mean, I'm just looking to slake one.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
you,
trying to get.
You very quickly, there's you kind of run and snatch as you go.
Great.
And you can slake a point of hunger. It's the refuge area is huge, and it's waterfowl, gators, and a weird collection of very large ravens or very large crows for North America.
Cool. Yeah. I know real quick as we're going out. I do want to take a moment with Lucy, and so as we run, right, do the run and talk.
Probably would have just killed her, by the way.
I know. There are real monsters that deserve to die. A lot of them. And most nights, that's most of us. But there's something more important than being right or being powerful. It's being effective. You got to know what your goal is. If your goal is to see your prince again, suiciding yourselves into the gang world isn't going to do it. I'm not telling you not to act on impulse. I'm just saying.
And she
next time
nods while she runs.
Yeah. And I'm not telling you not to act on impulse. I understand what that's like. Trust me. The moment I lose my shit is not going to go well. But all I'm saying is the next time I snatch you up, try to keep you from running out the door. At least try to take a breath.
Well, then now that I know that you're not going to try to kill me the first chance you get, we can do that.
No, I don't need chances to try to kill people. If I want to kill people, I just kill them.
She kind of like looks at you as she runs. Yeah, I get that impression.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do when we see Ramon?
We're going to talk to Ramon. One soldier to another. And if he turns out not to be helpful, then I'm going to claim his clan.
And the camera fades away from you all running. Now, is your intention to actually meet them tonight? Not tonight, gameplay wise, but tonight during. Okay.
I would think we have time.
You have plenty enough time to at least
within
get there
the
and-
evening to do so. Yes, I will say I would like to either get Lucy back to the rest of the coterie, or to get the coterie back with us, or to team up, fusion dance somehow.
So you tell Lucy that, and she pulls out her phone. Now, in the meantime of all that stuff happening with the,
do I feel like I trust these phones at this point? Because we had a lot of phone bullshit, and I may be like,
you get the impression that as long as people are careful, it's okay.
Okay, all right.
It's just that some people aren't careful. But you don't get the impression that Lucy is going to be like, "Hi, hello, kindred brothers and sisters.
No,
Meet
no,
us
no,
at
no.
the rendezvous point here."
Right. No, I know. Yeah, yeah.
And so Jem, in the meantime, after Pixie left, or after Siren left, sorry. After Siren left, and you're left there with your thoughts in your office and the axe above your head. What do you do when you're muted?
Okay. Yeah, she's not thinking. She's legitimately, "Hey, Whiskey Lou, I poured you a drink. I can't talk to anybody else about this, so I'm gonna talk to you." And she's after Siren leaves, she puts the chair under the under the door and the beer bottle again. And she just starts talking to him about everything. Like that Addison's gone and she misses him. That dad died and she's not entirely sure she believes that he isn't. And she just feels sad and she needs to feel sad, but she isn't allowed because there isn't time and she doesn't trust them enough. And yeah.
Roll me a charisma occult.
Uh,
A weird thing to roll together.
Am I still at -2?
You're not for those.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, not for charisma, I don't believe.
Ooh.
And you're back to normal anyways because you've come back to your safety, which is what you needed was your area
Mm-hmm.
to
Two
get rid of the
successes.
compulsion. Okay. And you're just sitting there like talking to the door. Essentially, you're facing the door.
No, because it's the chair. She's facing like if he was real, he'd be sitting in the chair that Siren had been sitting in.
Oh, I thought you put the chair underneath the door.
I have multiple chairs.
Okay, sorry. I know I envision this office way smaller than everyone else. I don't know why I do that, but I do envision this office like way smaller.
I also talk about it really shittily. Like, wood paneling.
And you see the glass raise up.
Demon? That's Megan. That's not Jim. Oh.
You see it raise up and then comes down. And it slides over and touches your glass and slides back.
Thanks, Whiskey Lou. You're my best friend.
So, Siren, what are you doing in this time that everyone else is having great
Just
conversations?
Watching. She's just watching. That's all she can do right now. That's all she is capable of doing. That's all she trusts. That's all she knows she can do. She is.
Are you going to respond to Jace's text message? Yes, she's like, hey, when you get to where you're going to go.
All she said was, because she did trust Gem's, she does not trust the phones. She only responds with, watching out for her. Everything's fine.
Okay, so you're just going to watch. Jace, anything you're doing with Iris? As she goes, I think Lucy was right. And don't tell Vegas.
Uh-huh.
I think they're still here. I think they're still alive.
Okay. Okay, got it. Cool. Okay. Well, I guess I need to go find Jem then.
The oldest people in the city were taken in one single night.
Yep.
Why?
To destabilize the Camarilla
By who?
by somebody that's not in the Camarilla.
Was it you?
No.
Was it Jem?
Yet.
What I'm asking you is, do you know who to trust?
So if I can trust anybody, it's got to be the coterie, because if not,
She slaps you in the face.
he takes it.
You ate someone in front of two of them.
Uh-huh.
A third outside of your coterie, outside of the Camarilla, outside of the city, found out.
Yeah,
Jace,
I'm gonna
don't trust
deal
anyone.
with that. Yeah, well, so you have to be able to trust somebody sometimes, or else you will just go crazy and die, probably. So, so at least them for now, until they've proven otherwise. At least with loose information, I can trust them. But if there's anybody that might know a little bit more than I do right now, it's somebody that was there. And with Lucy being Lucy, The only
that's
other
fair.
person that I know of that I can talk to on any sort of equal footings is Jem. So, step one. And
I'm gonna-
if there's if anything, I think that she's most concerned about the prince.
I'm gonna look at your character sheet real quick.
Go for it. Do it. Have fun in there. It's a wild time.
Let's see. So while I'm looking at this, is there anything else you want to talk to her about?
Um,
And she's kind of like moving her supplies back to their altars and kind of cleaning up. The bowl and ashen, essentially spellbook,
yeah.
like spellbook pages and blood and dirt and ash are still there on the main altar workspace in the middle. But
He no, he is like, especially while he was turned and she was working, I think his eyes were kind of just like drawn to the Baron's altar a little bit. He's not going to do anything with it.
I will say you wouldn't have
been.
been able to see it. It's because
Oh, okay,
of, like
perfect.
I
Okay.
know what you're going for. I was just letting you know, like you didn't.
No,
see it.
yeah, absolutely. Then he did not. But he's just gonna, like, as she's packing up, um uh, keep me updated on anything new that you think I should know about, I guess. And be careful. I don't entirely think that Vegas knows what he's talking about. And I'm just gonna say that in front of you and not in front of him so that he doesn't threaten to kill me again.
And she looks at you. What do you mean?
He went full beast. I don't think that he knows everything that happened to him. Full stop. There were some dead people. There were some people found dead in his bar after an explosion happened, and all he knows is my arm hurts, and I ate 2 people, and some brouhaha saved me. I think there's probably more to it than he realizes. So just, I don't know. Be careful.
Okay, I'll take that into consideration.
But yeah, I guess I'm gonna go regroup and see what we can find out. But also,
You have
So-
3 points in blood sorcery and 3 points in oblivion, but I can't see what you have chosen for blood sorcery and oblivion.
you have to hit the down arrows where it says powers. I just
That is so
opened up-
weird. Okay,
I
those
just opened up the drop menus for you.
the arrow doesn't point down like the other drop menus do. It points to the side, and I've
Yep.
never noticed that was there. Good times.
Yeah, but it points,
Way to go,
to the
storyteller.
left at the word powers. And then you have to click the arrow and it becomes a down arrow.
Wow, you like your X-ray vision, don't you? Okay.
Listen, it felt very applicable. But the other thing he just wants to mention is like, so for now, I kind of have to trust Gem and Siren with the whole snack thing. But do you have any advice on the other 2 that know about it? I don't
Interesting
think Alex is
thing-
gonna say anything.
Alex is a strange. I really expected them, to be less okay with that than they have been.
Well,
That
okay is a strong term.
she didn't immediately try to kill you or me or burn down the chantry. I mean, it wouldn't have worked anyways, but they could have tried. Yeah. My thing is this: is that there's something there with La Sombre that doesn't add up.
Yeah,
They're not cohesive.
fair. At some point later, I'm gonna want to circle back with you on why you had them. That's a later thing.
I would
don't
love that
need
to be a later
now.
thing. Yes, please.
I don't need that now. I just am very confused. and
Sometimes
concerned.
Sometimes somebody has to be the garbage man. And
Was
we
it
don't have a lot of sway inside
was
of the Tremere.
okay, okay. And this is Matthew forgetting where scenes have happened, but has Victor talked about has Victor talked about
Y'all have not had that
us?
conversation yet.
No, but has Victor even just in near near coterie members, has Victor ever talked about the fact that Alex and the other Lasombra were sold to the Tremere and were being experimented on? Has that conversation happened near us? Because
Yes.
that would influence.
They said it to Victor in the woods.
They did.
With the capital W, the woods. They said they fucking took my blood and then sold me.
Okay, got it.
Well, no. Okay, I take that back. Didn't say that they sold me to you guys there because of the timeline. They said that to they did say that in front of Rebecca Chase.
Yeah.
But they said it to Victor in front of Rebecca Chase.
Okay, but at least the
but you know that they were taken and experimented on and bled and fed and bled and fed.
Gotcha,
Yes.
gotcha. Cool. The unfortunate duty to be the trash man or the honor to be the Dr. Frankenstein
They
experiment
would love.
person?
Oh no, we don't do that.
Then what?
We don't.
Okay, we're gonna bookmark this whole thing.
Chase, if I
That's a
catch
later
you,
problem.
if I catch you experimenting on other kindred, I will put you into the ground myself.
Yeah, I'm listen. I do some shit, but not that. I mean, I don't do any shit that you haven't taught me how to do, but I do some shit, but not that.
Sure.
That's fucked. But that is what Alex seems to think that was happening, and I assumed it had to have been here, if anywhere, because that is where they were staked. But again,
Well, you know that they were brought back because you guys went to the woods. They weren't there, and they said, "Come back,"
you are
and then they brought
correct.
from the chantry into the woods.
Okay, got it. Yeah, we're just gonna bookmark this whole thing because I'm starting to see conspiracy theory threads lining up in ways that I don't like. So we're gonna bookmark this because I think it's related. It's exhausting being the rational one. This isn't normally my gig, Iris. This is somebody else's gig. Stay safe and help
So
me.
are you are you pretty much done with Iris then?
Yeah. He'll head
So
out.
as you go to walk out, she goes, "Excuse me," and she points to the Baron's altar. Pay your respects.
Okay, yeah. And he'll go. He'll Matthew does not want to say the incorrect things, but he will.
No, I get that. You go over there and you pay respects.
Yeah, he will pay respects. And we'll just silently, like actually silently be like, I thought that I wasn't supposed to. And we'll pay respects and do things and then leave.
And then you yeah, there's one thing about, like, you know, being accepted by themselves and then going, no, I'm gonna look like you all the time.
Well, duh, yes.
Not that you could help it, but no one else would know that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and you head out, and about the time that you start walking downstairs, you get a text from Lucy, and all of you do get a text from Lucy. Now, Jem, you don't have to answer the text, but the text message from Lucy is going to be a meetup location that is going to be the bar. So the LSS, you guys are going to receive a text message from Lucy that says to meet at the bar. It says meet at, and then you see the emoji for mug. Time now with V. And Siren's just like, and I'm on top of the, I'm already there. I'm just on top of the
No,
building.
it's that I told Joey not to let anybody in, so this is gonna get problematic. Hoping that I have Joey's phone number, I can call the bar from where I am and call the bar landline. She'll warn Joey. Some people are coming who can be let in. It should,
Also,
yeah.
it's cute. It's cute
Oh,
that
also,
Joey would
wait,
stop
she'll read
vampires.
she'll read the text message. All right, Lou, we got company. She'll grab the axe off the wall and just walk out and wait by the front door so that she can unlock it.
And so you quickly, Victor and Lucy arrive. And Lucy does the Jedi mind trick to Joey. Just kind of like waves her hands in front of her face and walks right past Joey into the bar with Victor. Now, I'm assuming that everyone else is inside. Jace, do you go to the bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
On your way out of the ancient site, Vegas comes up. Just a minute, if I could.
Sure.
And he grabs. He like pats you on the shoulder, and then like moves his hands down and like grabs you by the shirt.
Sure.
I only have one arm. You have two. Make use of them for your coterie, or I will make use of whatever I have left. Protect them. You can be better than this. Be better than this tea drinking person waiting for something else to happen to you. Learn something from Iris or sit the fuck down. And he lets go of you. Unless you say something or do something, he's going to walk to the kitchen. The kitchen, like they don't really have a kitchen, but like the kitchenette area. Yeah.
Yes. The break room.
The water cooler.
Yeah, kinda.
And the Keurig.
With the
Like
microwave
it's very
and
homey.
yeah.
Like this whole store is very homey-esque.
It's cottage core break space water cooler.
Like if you wanted to make the tea that you bought in the store, they would just go make you the tea that you bought in the store.
Absolutely. No, as he lets go and he walks past, Jace will stand there for like 2 seconds and then just chuckle to himself as he leaves.
Okay. And so you guys make it to the bar.
Siren waits to go in until she's sure that the people haven't been followed. She will go in last because she wants to make sure that no one was tracked here or like followed here. Okay. So she waits a few minutes.
So you see that, Victor, you of course see it because you're with Lucy. And then Siren, you see that, and you're like, huh, okay. You take note of that Joey, at least with Lucy, is kind of ineffective as a door guard. And then you wait for a minute. And next to you, on the rooftop, lands a crow. Do you go to the bar?
Yeah, because I don't fucking know. I don't know about them. I know nothing. So yeah.
I mean, you might know, at least in passing, crows are not native to New Orleans. Therefore,
there's crows in New Orleans.
Yeah, they are.
Ravens aren't native to.
Yes.
Crows are everywhere. Crows are.
Yeah.
There's no ravens in North America other than like zoos.
Yeah,
they're not native.
Sure, I'd have the fuck? No.
Like it's bigger, but like, you know what? No, you're just a big fucking crow to you. Like there's.
Although
you wouldn't know.
Although how well has my sire trained me? Would I know to check?
Nope.
Good. Then no. Then yeah.
Not,
I was like, I don't think he.
Not
knows
him.
them. No. Fuck.
Is he a bird person?
It's not our thing.
No, he's.
No.
Like, you're like, that's a big fucking crow that landed about 1.5 feet away from me.
Interesting.
And like it's looking at you, but it's like it's a crow. They do that. They are curious.
Although, I mean,
you've seen TikToks.
Yeah, but she's lived in New York, and she knows bird behavior in residential areas.
She knows pigeons.
There's other birds there. She knows bird behavior in these crowded spaces, so it's still fucking weird. But now it's weird enough that she.
It hops towards you.
Oh fuck!
Just like.
I don't have anything, Because when an animal jumps at you and you talk to it, I'm not a monster. Not that kind
That's
of.
true.
Not that much of a monster yet.
And it just kind of looks around.
All right. She pats down, make sure she doesn't have a snack on her that she like from human times that's just gone old.
No.
And she walks off the roof.
No chocolate granolas for you.
No. And she goes again doing a final sweep of the area to make sure that there's no that no one she would be aware of as a threat has followed them, and then she drops down the backside of the across the street bar, and doubles around before going into the stuff.
Okay. So with that being said, you guys enter in. I'm going to give you guys one last little sign-off closing conversation, if you guys want, of what you found tonight before we sign off.
And prepare for a
Jem
6-hour
has an
episode
axe-
next week.
Yeah.
Jem has an axe in her hand, just so everyone
Yeah,
is
I know.
aware that is a visual that I love, and it
Yes.
is still there.
Good. I have to prepare us all. I will take the goddamn day off work. I will do a 12-hour vampire wrap up for season 1. We have a lot of shit to do. Like, I will live here at this desk. All right.
Victor's gonna check on Jem. He's gonna, because she's like right there at the front. So
Mhm.
he's gonna. I imagine the only way Victor knows how to have a good conversation with anybody is like shoulder to shoulder, facing opposite directions, because he's an emotionally stunted pensioner at this point.
I mean,
I like the axe.
thank you.
Are you okay?
I have an axe.
I don't think that's as comforting for you as it might be for me.
Victor, I say this with as much gravitas and gravelness that I can muster. I don't fucking care.
Your prince was well loved. Oh, and I walk away.
And he walks away. Siren, Jace, anything?
Jace is holding all of his cards until other people have shown their hands.
Honestly, so is Siren. She tried to be vulnerable earlier. It didn't work. So she's gonna stand by the door, back against the wall, and just
Then-
watch the room.
Then Victor will push together tables. He magically has a map of New Orleans. He will lay out war room style.
I'm 100% assuming that he would actually have that. Like,
Absolutely, I have no problem with this.
Yeah.
He's got little figurines for each of the clans that he's like positioned out.
He went to a local gaming shop,
Yes.
picked up
Yeah.
some D&D figures.
That's true.
He has
yes.
surprisingly accurate minis of all of us already.
Yeah.
Actually,
Why
That's
did,
what he
why did
does
it,
in his Airbnb.
why-
The one
why does the
ghoul he
Nosferatu
has-
look like orcs?
Right. The one ghoul he has is just the guy that paints his minis for him. That's it. That's
Here
his
for it.
one. That's his
No,
one goal.
you let him paint that shit himself. It's so much more endearing if he
If
just
he
sits up
had
for the last-
time.
He takes like
Yeah,
a single
he
nose
just
hair to
doesn't
get the
have
eyes
time.
right.
It's an,
Like,
it's an hour before bed every night right before sunrise.
Every morning.
Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And so you so I think we're finding some answers, and there's still some dangerous people afoot, but and he'll lay it out. He'll explain that
no.
to find the prince, we should find the sheriff, and lays out the evidence for the attack being, I mean, we've all said most of it, the attack being staged and how the gangrel survived. and his reasoning for why it's a setup for the Gangrel and the Bruja, and his next step. And the one thing he won't tell them is that he intends to, at least digitally, reach out to Rebecca Chase to try to have he knows the necessity of having allies, and she seems to be one that he might be able to have that
Okay.
is at least slightly more unexpected than the Gangrel and the Bruja and all.
Okay. So as the camera pulls away from the new war room, the camera pulls up through the clouds, leaving the coterie. As you see more and more crows fly into the city. And we catch a glimpse of some people, 3 men, running through the streets of New Orleans. They come up on the bar, or not the bar, the Lamia's, the former strip club. They look at each other and they smile. And then they run right down the road that they came on. And that is where we're going to end tonight's story. So, thank you guys so much for hanging with us. A lot of stuff happened tonight. A lot of new things coming to light. A lot
12-hour episode next week. 12 hours. I will live here. We can do it in shifts. It's fine.
Next week will be the end of season 1, and hopefully there's some resolution.
Oh,
If there's not resolution, it'll just be one big ass cliffhanger.
And
So
my
make sure you come
Christmas
back next
gift.
week. Make sure to check us out on YouTube. Make sure you check out the podcast. Join the Discord. Hang out with us. Both myself and the cast, thank you for showing up. If you join the Discord, you hang out with us on community nights. Last night we played Among Us with the different communities, and everybody got to kill each other.
Both
If you're interested in
Discord
D&D
links are in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
If you guys love D&D content or tabletop content in general, as well as some light video game content, make sure you follow Rep RPG, not just for us, but make sure you tune into every episode they do. The Disasters campaign is glorious, and you guys have to watch it. If you guys need to get caught up, check out the YouTube as well. So we're going to be doing in the month of December with us coming off of Vampire. I'm going to be supplementing it with D&D 101 on my channel, Bardic Sway from Twitch. Basically, everybody that's ever been told no in playing D&D, whether it be for their lifestyle, to ever be able, like, you can't learn, or you're not, whether it's because of their lifestyle, their sexuality, their gender, any of that shit, I'm telling them yes. And we're having 9 players do D&D all at the same. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna make this happen. They will get a dungeon and a dragon, and that is all I'm telling them, is that they will learn how to roll. They will get some role playing in there, learn how to roll dice. They already made their characters, but I'm going to give them a dungeon and a dragon, and they will officially Dungeons and Dragons. So, does anybody want to say anything before we roll out? All right. So thank you guys so much, and we will see you next week, if not sooner. Stay tuned.